Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tides of Death. How are my favorite players in the whole wide world doing today?
We're doing good.
Nick and I are good.
Doing great, Nick.
I'm doing great, thanks.
What is going on, everybody? And does anyone have any pirate facts for me? For the group, really?
Nope.
That's going to be a no.
Not
Come
this
on,
week.
you've taken the competition out of it, and all of a sudden there's no motivation.
I was going to get a pirate fact, but I chose to nap instead, and I feel like I made the right choice.
I took a nap too.
Anyone
I think
dream
that'll
of
work.
pirates?
What if chat comes up with a pirate fact, can we have the XP?
Yeah, chat, come on.
That's their
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's get some interaction with the whole group here.
There's a bit of delay, so just give them 30 seconds.
It's fine.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Help us out here.
eating
We need
fruit.
this XP. What kind of fruit?
Strawberries and bananas.
What a
Based.
nice fruit. Did you have
How do-
cream with them?
She brought me some of
Oh, that looks
Ooh,
awesome.
That looks
Jesus Christ, what is
nice.
this?
just yogurt.
That looks good, though.
Does Fran not bring you stuff?
No, mate. No.
You don't
She
get
comes in and
snacks
she
brought
expect-
to you?
Mate, she expects her dinner on the table the second she walks through the door.
Man,
Fucking
dude.
slave drive over here.
You gotta upgrade to a better model.
It's too late for that now, yeah.
She's the one who already upgraded.
Yeah.
Right. Well, where did we leave off with our players? We were in a town, the town of Port Prince, were we not?
Yeah, we just
I believe
landed
so.
and Nilrim is getting back on the
Yes, that is one of the tension points we left off on, is Nilrum returning to the ship after hours, stopped by guards who are asking him, like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And you
Yeah.
had offered them a bribe. How much were you? No?
No.
Oh, I'm
Nilrim
sorry.
pulls out a bag of 50 gold coins.
Uh-huh.
He jingles it in his hand. He opens it, and he goes to put it back in his purse, but he drops it on the ground. And he looks at them and he says, "Well, are we done here?" 50 gold coins, Neal.
50 gold
That's
coins.
a lot of gold coins.
That's a lot of money.
gold
Fucking
coins.
money.
One of the guards takes a step towards you, leans over, and picks up the bag, hefts it, looks inside of it, looks to the other one and goes, well, Simon, looks like someone's donated some money to the Guards Guild. Simon looks over and goes, you know what, Hans? I don't think so. I think that's lost money. I think we should return it to the lost and found as quickly as possible. The other one goes, well, Simon, Hans, it's not a bad idea. Hey, excuse me, you? Would you keep an eye on these boats for a moment? Make sure no one walks on them. And if they do, let us know when we get here so we can appropriately arrest them. Keep an eye out for faces and distinctive marks.
I'll make sure nobody gets by.
Well, come on, Hans. Let's go return this to the lost and found. It's a good idea, Simon. And they will take the bag and sort of walk a little bit eastward down the docks in some direction.
I'll head on to my ship.
All right. What do you do when
Money
you're on
solves
your ship?
all these problems. I was here to learn spells and to feed the kid. Keep an eye on the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be here for 3 days learning something that I forget. Oh, I remember.
Oh, you're learning a
Prestidigitation.
spell, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be able to woo people.
We got a pirate fact in chat, Neil. Pirate fact. There is no Guards Guild. They're just going to take the money.
Not a pirate fact.
No way.
It's a fact, though.
It's a
The
fact.
rest of the party is in a tavern. Just shortly after an interaction between Sale and his brother Bale, who had found him here somehow using what? How did he find you here?
He read someone's mind.
Oh, that's right.
He read Nilrum's mind as he was leaving.
Mm.
Which wasn't said directly to me and Archie, but we overheard it, and it's quite concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
So
did
the
we
other,
hear him say that?
Yeah.
he
Well,
told
I mean,
Sale
he told you.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of the conversation.
He was saying how he shouldn't have used his spells for that, and it was a sin. He wanted
Oh,
to do
that's
it
right.
anyway.
Yeah. It's coming back to me now. Cheers.
So are we picking up like the scene caught as Bale walked out? We went to Nilram, and now we're picking back up just at that moment.
Yes. So Bale has left. Archie and Captain John and Sail are all in the same room of this lively tavern. Some of your other sailors are about as well, a little bit on other tables nearby, away from the officers, trying to get some time to themselves. And the three of you can chat amongst yourselves if you have anything to say.
As that conversation was going on, I'd ordered some drinks from a bartender, and they're in front of me now. And as Bale walks out and Sail turns back around, I'll slide him a drink over to him and say, "Well, that was awkward. You all right?"
I'll reach over and I'll grab the drink and I'll kind of pull it close to my chest and lean into the table and I'll say, I thought I would feel good confronting him, but instead I just feel more angry.
Angry at him?
Just angry. Just being around him always made me angry.
Well, you know what, Sail? You said you'd come here and find him. If he doesn't want to come, he doesn't want to come. Nothing you can do about it. You filled your end of the bargain here.
I did. Well, I did promise Mother that I'd bring him home.
He's his own man. He's made his own bad decisions. And we all have to feel the consequences of that.
Yeah, you'd say that again. One thing, though, that worries me a bit is he said something about using magic. Did you?
Yeah, I heard
were
that.
you listening? About
I was listening. Yeah, he said he read Noram's mind. You think he's bullshitting? Didn't sound like he was lying.
Well, not to make too light of the situation, but I feel if anyone had read Neal Rum's mind, they would have died on the spot. The thoughts of that man comes up with are genuinely horrifying.
That's true. If he'd have read Noram's mind, you think he might have been more concerned about it. I'm sure whatever's going on in there must be kind of fucked up.
He did seem a bit demure and put off when talking to him, so maybe he did see something weird. Have you ever heard of mind reading or anything like that before? Do you know, like, can you only pick out specific thoughts? Do you get to know everything? Could I be walking
No
down the
idea.
street and a cleric of a stare touches me and just knows my deepest, darkest secrets?
I've heard of people getting captured by the guards back home. Maybe getting interrogated by wizards. Reading their minds, seeing if they're lying. But I've never seen it myself. Never spoke to anyone who had it happen to them.
The thought of having my own mind be the thing that betrays me is a horrifying thought, Captain.
Well, it's pretty horrifying, given that any one of these fucking White Prince clerics around here could be reading our mind, and we could be in chains before we know it, not even having said a thing. We gotta
I
be
guess I'll
careful.
just have to think about your mother more often, Captain, to distract them.
Well, I'll let that go, but maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should have strong thoughts that we could turn to whenever we're in conversations with these people. I don't know how it works. But...
Don't worry.
You've never met my mother, okay? And if she wants, if you had, she doesn't go for guys like you. She's classy, you know.
You want to bet about it, Captain?
And no, I'm telling you, it's true. She lived in a noble's family. That's where I grew up. I wasn't cut out for it, but my mother, you know, she might have been poor, but she was. She knew how to dress. She knew how to act. You'd have thought she was a noble if you'd met her in the market.
I suppose that little flare of nobility probably explains the feather in your cap.
Perhaps, yes. Maybe it's a testament to her. Who knows? But enough about me. I thought we were talking about your family.
Sorry, Captain, I just had to distract myself from it. It was very stressful.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to decide now. Why don't we enjoy the night, have a few drinks, and we can talk about it in the morning. No one should be back.
I'll drink to that. I'll raise
Well,
my
no. Yeah, cheers. Noram said he was going for a few days, right?
Did I? You know, that conversation took a lot out of me. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but if we're gonna do anything about your brother, whatever it is, we should probably do it. Maybe if Noram's not gonna be here for a couple of days, maybe any further interactions with him would be better done without Noram anyway.
You might be right. What makes you say that?
Well, if he's read his mind, is one thing. But also, Noram can be prone to acting out at times. And I'd imagine that he might not get away with some of the things he usually gets away with around here.
Yeah, for sure. I think if there's any time where we do have to be on our best behavior, it's probably here.
I made it clear to the crew before we landed that if anyone gets some shit in here, they're on their own, and that goes for all of us. Except for maybe you, Archie.
I'll drink that.
I'll make sure you guys get out alive too. Don't worry.
Cheers. Right, let's just let's have a few drinks tonight, and in the morning, we'll go for a bit of a walk around the city, hey? Have a little chat about our friend. Get the lay of the land.
And the rest of the night passes smoothly and easily. No one starts any fights. No guards are called. Eventually, the bar closes, and you make your way to the inn that you're staying at.
Yeah.
The No, and we can pick up the next day. People are waking up, a little worse for
Quick
wear.
question. Cantrip is enchantment.
It is also
Why?
a global spell. There are some spells that
Okay.
exist that are learnable by everyone regardless of what their specialization is. Dispel magic is one of them. Cantrip is one of them. Detect
Thank
magic,
God.
read magic. There are a few others. I can get you the universal list if you want.
That works. I'll be learning cantrip while I'm on this
Excellent.
godforsaken area.
What level
Do you wanna do
cleric are
100?
you?
I'm a 5th level.
Or
Wizard.
wizard. Sorry. It's very rare to see a 5th level wizard pick up the cantrip spell. I am very happy that you're doing this. It's one of those spells that is like fundamental to the wizard class that rarely ever gets used. So let's give us that D100.
Okay. Maybe an extra 1 because, you're so happy with it.
Give him
Yeah.
an extra one, Neal.
Inspiration.
Do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Yes,
An
he's
extra
got it.
1%. Totally.
I'm
Nice.
going to go low. I have a 75% chance, 76% chance.
Yeah. Nice.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
D2?
Mm-hmm.
2 days.
Yep. 2 days of learning, and you will pick up cantrip.
Is the kid doing well?
The prisoner?
Eh.
He is, not excited about being a prisoner, but his health is fine. He's not about to die or anything like that. His physical health is fine. He looks a little stressed because he can hear his hometown just out the ship, but he can't really do anything about it. Remind us again, or tell us now, where you want to store him while he's on this ship. Because if he has free access to the ship, he could get on top of the deck and probably just jump off.
He's just going to be in the captain's room with me.
But anyone
Okay,
can
I
leave
feel
the
that.
captain's room. What happens when you go to sleep?
Sadly, he'll be tied up and gagged.
Ah, okay. Tied up and gagged in the captain's quarters. That'll keep him from alerting
Wouldn't be the
anyone to his
first.
presence. Gotcha.
He'll be with me.
Well, that will go very smoothly then. He seems stressed, but he's a prisoner that they should be in a state of stress, right? If they're not, then they've got some severe Stockholm syndrome or something. So all is well there. The next day in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Arrive in Port Prince on, I believe this will be the 19th of August that we are here. What would the three of you like to do?
Well, I think I'd like to have a bit of a private conversation about bail, but I also would like to get the lay of the land here. So what I was thinking is get breakfast at the hotel, at the inn, and then maybe just go on a bit of a just a walk around the city, just wander for 3 or 4 hours through the different areas of the city. Maybe even try and get a scope of is it possible to leave the city walls and to go into the island?
You could probably even try and contact people. I don't know if you have thieves' cant and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if we can find, I don't know, if I can find a bar that looks like it might be where rogues and thieves would hang out, I can go and check that out as well. But I'm thinking for the ransoming, I would like to maybe find a place outside of the city where there's no guards, where we can arrange to meet for the ransom. And I don't just mean any place. What I'd want is a place where it's a landmark, but there's also somewhere where we could hide off to the side and watch it, so that if they came with guards or whatever, we'd be hidden.
Yeah. You can wander the city. There are 3 rivers that run through the city with bridges over them in a few places. Not so many. Anytime you cross one of these rivers is going to be a little bit of a bottleneck. Shouldn't come up unless you're in some sort of chase or running from guards or something like that, but just as a heads up. And there are 3 material exits to the town, 3 walled sections that lead into the rest of the island. The main one right here follows one of the major rivers, and then there's the north and the south one which run along the coastlines. If you're walking around and looking at things and asking locals about what's going on here, then you'll find that the north and south exits sort of run along the coast for a little while, and there's some good farmland out there, and that's where a lot of the agriculture that helps support Port-au-Prince comes from. The center path doesn't have very much on the other side of it. You can go through the gates if you want. There is a jungle out there, and some people do harvest from the jungle, wood, fruits, herbs, bark, and whatnot. But they will tell you that the jungle beyond the walls can be quite dangerous, especially if you take the middle route out. Eventually, the river runs into a large lake from which it stems, and beyond the lake is an active volcano, and then everything else is like jungle with big monsters within it. Big theropods cruising around, munching on things, small poisonous creatures here and there, man-eating plants and traps. It's a very dangerous place deeper into the island.
The lake, though, it's relatively safe to get to the lake.
If we look right over
Relatively.
here, we'll see like there's from the wall until the lake section, and
Yeah.
the part that's within the canyon is relatively safe. People still go missing within this realm, or at least they said they were going to be in this realm. But once you get sort of outside of this canyon is when it starts to get more dangerous.
Do people live on the lake? Is there villages there?
No one lives on the lake. No one lives down the center route. There are some people that might live in like this area over here or this area over here. But that's about it.
So, what about if we needed to get like a boat down the river to the lake? Is that something that we could do, or would that just be weird and would look out of place? Like, you know, if I just walk along that section of the river, or if I just pay attention to it while we're wandering through the town, do I see anyone offering like boat rides?
No, because as you come to the gate, you'll see that there are like a few small little docks along this to help ease travel up and down this section. But beyond the wall, there are no structures, there are no buildings, there's no civilization or anything that works beyond the middle section of this wall. So you're not going to find any boat houses. The river might not even be navigatable. No one would have been like clearing it to make room for boats. If you ask if anyone ever travels upriver to the lake, you'll get a no. No one takes boats up that way. You'd have to get the boats through the gatehouse to begin with, which would be a huge pain in the ass because the river comes through and they're like bars that create a grate so that things can't like sneak through the river into the town.
How much at the gatehouse? How much notice are the guards paying to people? Well, no one's going through it, I guess. So it's hard to. I won't know, I suppose.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
they're good guards, you know? This is their job. They're paying attention to all the people coming through these gates. If they weren't, they'd be bad at their job. They'd probably get fired. This is a meritocracy here.
Okay, so I'm going to scratch the idea of arranging the ransom outside of the city. And instead, maybe, is there like a rundown part of the city, maybe where there's like abandoned buildings and crime?
Yes. Well, you know, there's no crime within the White Prince's empire, Captain John. But there
Obviously.
are areas where maybe there's not as much prosperity, where the light of the White Prince hasn't fully enveloped the people there. Well, there are still some heretics sort of struggling against the ways of the world. Yeah, there are some poor parts of town.
What
Also-
I'd like to do is like find an abandoned building, like somewhere I could arrange the transfer of the prisoner. But while we're walking there, let's just quit in and have a conversation between the three of us. So, Sail, you had any
Yes,
time
Captain.
to think about what you want to do with your brother?
I think it might be less about what I want to do and what we have to do if he's found information about Nilram.
Well, that's one thing. If he's found out about Nilram, then maybe, yeah, we're backed into a corner there. But let's say that's not true. Like, do you want him gone? Do you want to just leave him here to his life? Do you want to try and bring him with us and, like, try and show him what we saw on the island with the undead? Try and convert him? Or are you not concerned?
Part of me would want to do that, I think, to try and get him to see the truth, but he's always been headstrong, he's always been stubborn, and I fear that even if we did bring him and show him the crimes of the White Prince, that he would just claim it was for the greater good.
You know, if we could get him down to the coast, you could always have someone else stand judgment over him. Maybe showing true power, he may change his mind in the face of a worse outcome.
Sale will, like, stroke his face and think for a moment. Hadn't thought of that, Captain. I know why you're the captain now. Yet again, you prove yourself worthy to hold that title.
Well, you said you always feel like he's showing you up, right? I mean, it'd be pretty hard for him to feel like he was superior to you then.
Yeah, let's watch him grovel. I like it. I like it a lot.
What are you making the man, Archie?
Sorry, I zoned out for the past 5 minutes. Can you give me?
We're talking about Sales brother from the conversation at the end of the last
Yeah, sorry.
episode.
I don't trust the guy. There's something weird about him.
Yeah, well, he works for the White Prince. That's pretty weird. Although, maybe not so much around these parts. But, you know, I just, as an aside, the three of us are not from here. Is it not a bit weird that everyone in this place worships the same god? They're all, like, fanatics. I mean, back from where we live, and I think in Solemn as well, like, most places aren't this hung up on a single god. It's kind of strange. It's almost like a cult. I find the whole thing unnerving.
I mean, you might expect a village to be dedicated
Yeah.
to Martha or something, but like a whole city, it is weird. It feels very
Forced.
oppressive and
Yeah.
conformative.
Yes.
It reminds me of that one city that we were in where everyone is just depressed.
Yeah.
It does.
It-
Uniformity, it's concerning.
that reminds me. We need to be looking for that MR price.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. That kind of slipped my mind with the stress of landing and meeting my brother.
That's
I
the
think
real
of
reason
which-
we're here.
Well, that and the precious cargo that we carry. Have you put any thought of what we'll do about that?
Well, my initial thoughts when I was looking at the layout of the island as we were approaching was that maybe we could arrange to meet them outside of the city. But after looking at the gate a little bit while we were wandering around before, kind of looks like it's too dangerous out there, and that if no one goes down there, then it's going to be too obvious to the guards what's going on if all of a sudden we go and then the next day these people come and they come back with a kid. Like, that's going to be noticed. So I was
For sure.
thinking around here, maybe, I say, as we're like walking through the slums, we could probably find some abandoned building out here or somebody's shed that they aren't using. We could maybe post a letter and hide out in a building across the road, wait for them to arrive, make sure there's no guards before we make the trade.
Well, one thought I did have is when you're dealing with stolen goods, Captain, you probably use a fence a lot. Maybe we just pawn them off to a middleman and let them handle the transaction. Take the gold, verify his status, get the hell out of here.
It's interesting. You'd have to find the right person, although I'm sure he lives around here somewhere, if he does exist.
I think Wiley said he knew a couple people here. There might be people who are of a thieving persuasion, perhaps rogues, knaves, the kind of people
That's
we like
true.
to hang out with.
Good point. We could even cut someone in on the deal to help us with it. Maybe they know a place or they have contacts. They can sort this kind of thing out.
Yeah, absolutely. I was honestly thinking of just like straight up handing them off to some
Yeah.
gang and just like being like, this guy, can take half the ransom. That way there's zero risk. They take the risk and getting the rest of it.
It's just hard to prove, though. I mean, if I was in their situation, how do I know that this kid's not just some random street urchin? I mean, he's going to look all beat up to fuck after living caged up in the ship for the last 2 weeks. You know, he's not going to look like some fancy noble kid.
That's true. And I suppose, I mean, if they were to ask for proof, we would have to tell them that the kid from the family is missing, and then they would go verify that. And that could take weeks, it could take months to verify, depending on how fast news moves.
Yeah, whereas if we're still in the deal, then we've got an incentive to be telling the truth. For things to work out straight.
It's true, it's true. I just thought the further away we are from the actual transaction, the less can go wrong.
You're probably right about that. Let's have a little look around this. There's bound to be a tavern here somewhere. Maybe one on the river. That might be where Wiley's friends might hang out. And yeah, I guess we'll keep wandering around the slums. So I'm looking for abandoned buildings, but also maybe this tavern that I'm describing that must exist somewhere.
And how much of this is going to be a matter of haste? Like, do you want to find an abandoned building today, or do you want to take your time and find the right abandoned building?
Yeah. We're just wondering. I mean, we've literally got nothing else to do right now. We're just talking about our options. We're working out what we're going to do here. So we're just walking around, getting the lay of the city, talking, looking for things.
Great. Why? Let's see. Sell me on some sort of check to find the appropriate abandoned building for your cause. What sort of die roll would that be?
Right?
Yeah.
To
Making
judge
any
the...
possible-
Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like
Judge that person you're with.
well, it's to judge the people standing around outside, people coming and going, maybe a quick chat with somebody who's like smoking outside the front door.
Yeah, talking
Having
about
a-
street
Judge the
urchins.
area.
And then
Drop
maybe
a
like an
few
int
words.
check to like, oh, like this place is like really dusty. There's no signs of anyone coming in here for weeks. So then maybe like,
Yeah, for the abandoned building, yeah.
Yeah, so you could do an int for your own personal investigations of each building if you're like looking in windows and scoping out each building, or you could do a charisma check if you're asking the nearby locals for information about this zone.
I think int for the abandoned building and charisma for the tavern.
Okay. Well then, someone make me one of each of them, please.
Well, how many days is this going to take? Because that might play into what I'm coming in.
The more successful the check, the fewer days it'll take.
Okay.
I've got 12 int. What's anyone got better than that?
I got 12 int as well.
All right, I'll just roll int and charisma.
No one even asked Archie.
Archie hasn't got 12 int. Oh, I fucked
Yeah,
both of the
he's
rolls.
not. He's not.
Maybe
he's
you
not
should
doing this.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't roll.
Wow.
Like a red-
Wow.
I feel like if I saw Captain messing up this bad and I was with him, I would notice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's going to all the nice places.
Why don't you give me an int check and a charisma check to see if you can notice how badly the captain is. Well,
I don't even know how to explain this roll. Like, what does it mean?
I think with the
Like
charisma,
walking up to hotels and being, yeah, like, yeah, this place looks empty.
yeah, I think it's the int check has failed because you're just super fucking obvious about this. Like, you're going up to any building and you're trying to scope inside and just like building after building, and it's drawing the attention of some of the other nearby people, and someone, pretty quickly, I think Sale also botched his int check. So I think you guys are just like super obviously looking into all of the nearby buildings. And unfortunately, most of them are like boarded up from the inside, and you can't really get a good look at these things. And they all kind of look the same from the outside. And this is a very unfamiliar area to you. And in order to see which one of these are truly abandoned and in what state, you'd have to like actually get into the buildings. And so all of your outside observations they don't tell you anything. They just botch you, and it's sort of awkward. As for the botched charisma check, I imagine Captain John walks up to somebody and is just a little too on the nose, a little bit too confident, just like, hey, where all the thieves hang out, or something like that. Maybe not quite so on the nose, but something pretty bad. And the person looking at you will make a polite excuse and leave. And Sale, having overheard this, watching the person walk away, is pretty certain this person is like gonna go talk to a guard. Like, the captain was being highly suspicious, and you get the impression, Sale, that the civilian he was talking to is gonna like go report him for suspicious behavior.
Jesus.
God damn,
That's
Neal.
not ideal.
I'll relay this information to the captain. Captain,
Okay.
what side of the bed did you wake up this morning? Because you're off the chain, okay?
My head's all over the place. I think maybe
Dude,
the
I
White
fucking
Prince is
love
doing
how-
their magic.
I love how Captain Winters is just so inept at everything. He does in this campaign. It's so fucking fitting.
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That didn't really go that well. He looks like he might be going to the guard, so we should let's let's get out of here. Let's call it on the investigations for the day.
Well, we should come up with a alibi. We're looking to buy property. That's the alibi, yeah?
Okay,
Looking to
fine.
buy is not-
If
yeah.
we can leave now, they won't find us.
Yeah, okay, but we got our alibi. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so I think we head back to the nice part of town where we're staying, probably.
Yep. It'll take you
And,
many days to find the Thieves Guild or any sort of fencing style people, and it'll take
Yeah.
you many days to find an abandoned building. Your checks have gone so poorly. You need to like keep a low profile for a little while, not make any waves, stay away from that zone. So Nilrum will join you
Yeah.
for our next bit. The only question I have, Nilrum, is how are you going to get back off the ship? Because the Inquisitor should be able to read your magic aura, right?
Gonna get up on night then.
So one night, Nilrum leaves the ship. And there are some guards in the harbor. And they see you
Same
walking
guys?
down the dock. Yeah. Roll me a d20 for luck. High is good, low is bad. No. New people entirely. And they see you coming down the dock, and they make a quick hurry and jog over in your direction and give you a stern talking to. What are you doing getting
Wait,
off the
before
ship?
I gotta think about if I'm bringing the kid or not. Are there other people on the ship left over? Like, are there other
Oh
crewmen?
yeah, there's people keeping watch on the ship. Absolutely.
Okay.
They rotate them out during the day.
I'll tell our crew then that they're gonna need to watch over the kid, make
Mhm.
sure he's kept and fed. I would have moved the kid out of the
Mhm.
office
Mhm.
back to the old, probably like just an underground area of the ship,
Mhm.
because no one else can enter the office except for me and
Right.
John.
Right.
So then I will leave at night, and now we can continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Two guards come hurrying over to you, their chainmail jingling, their spears actually not glinting in the sunlight because it's not sunlight. But they come up and accost you as you come down the dock. What are you doing getting off your ship at this hour? Don't you know the port's closed? No one goes on or off.
Normal sigh. He'll reach in his bag. He'll take out another 50.
Bag of 50 gold and...
I know that it's late, and I know that the guild, and I give him a wink, appreciates their donations mightily. Maybe this could sure up some confusion.
You hand them a bag of 50 gold for the Guards Guild. Mm-hmm.
The Guards Guild.
Yeah. One of the soldiers looks at you. Absolutely disgusting. Can you believe this shit? Don't you know donations don't get made here? They get made at the central office over there. What the...
Oh,
Go-
should I take it over there then?
Absolutely.
I hold the 50 gold, and I will head that way.
As you head that way to a very specific building that they've called out, it's got like a sign that hangs out in front of it with a couple of spears crossed over the backing of a shield with the symbol of a stare on it. You notice they are absolutely watching you as you walk in that direction.
Are
Are you gonna try and like... Yeah.
What are the odds that I can like loosen the pouch? How does cantrip work here? Minor magical items. Could it be like a minor illusion? I know it can't be like another spell.
Well, you could create the illusion of like a gold coin within your hand. Cantrip. What is the minor? Minor effects that are harmless and have severe limitations, unable to cause loss of hit points, can't affect the concentration of spellcasters, create small, obviously magical materials. So you probably couldn't fool anyone with a cantrip. Maybe if you like made the illusion of one gold coin like dancing back and forth across your hand.
That would be fine. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Normal sigh. Knowing that he doesn't want to get any fucking trouble, he will take the bag of 50 gold pieces and put it where the White Prince's men can have.
Yeah. You can set it down by the front of the thing and they'll give you a wave and continue their
Give them a
patrols. 100 gold to get on and off your boat. It's a steep price.
It's all right.
But you can meet up with the
Rich.
rest of the party. Yeah. So the whole party together again at last, hanging out in one of the taverns this evening, trying to figure out where to fence merchandise, where to do a trade, a ransom.
Nelrim, you're back. How's the kid?
Kid was good, but I learned the most beautiful magic. I'm sure you'll be impressed.
Oh yeah? Well, let's not
And,
cast it here.
I'll show you later.
You've learned a lot of magic, Nelrim, but you're still forgetting the most basic things.
Oh, Captain, I think you're gonna like this one.
I hope so. Listen, while you've been gone, we spoke to Bale, to Sale's brother.
Oh yeah, I saw that weirdo.
Hey, how was he with you?
He knew I was lying.
He
know.
told Sale that he read your
It was
mind,
odd.
which is quite concerning.
Well, we're lucky he didn't read the the right parts then, am I right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the wrong parts. Anyway,
Anyways, what have you guys been up to?
well, we've been trying to think how to do this exchange.
Oh, with the kid?
Yeah. How easy is it for you to get on and off the ship?
Cost me 50 gold each time.
You think that's going to keep up? Keep working?
Shrug. Depends on the guards. I know 4 of them now. So yeah.
We were trying to find wherever the Thieves Guild is here. Maybe bump into Wiley's old friends that he said lived here. Maybe they could help us arrange such a thing. But it would mean getting the kid off the boat and getting him over here if we're going to arrange a handover.
Well, if
Maybe
it's
it's
We can
safer.
certainly do that.
Well, I was going to say maybe it's safer that we do it off island. We could drop the note off while we're here, arrange to meet somewhere in the Outer Rim in the future.
I
not
agree
a bad
because we
move.
want magics from this or a lot of wealth. We want something more than I think gold out of this kid. Does anybody disagree?
I mean, if we can get something more than gold, you're probably right. I mean, we can knock over any ship on the sea and make a haul.
I have always had a liking for gold, though.
It is nice. Glints in the sun, weighs down your pockets.
Exactly. Nothing you can't achieve with a bag full of coins.
And you can buy a really big boat with it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
right.
We could just steal a boat.
That's also true.
Yeah.
In a way, stealing is just like buying things without paying.
Ransoms are super common back in this time.
Yes,
yeah?
it is.
So yeah, especially in a situation of nobles, cities or countries are going to war, you capture the nobles and you ransom them and their armor separately back to the family that they had. In this situation, like normally you would find some sort of neutral ground between your two nations to do it, or some sort of Switzerland that could help you out. This situation of ransoming someone in a city controlled by the enemy is a little bit dicey, because where's your protection coming from? What's going to stop them from turning you in right away? If you ransom them off on like some random island, you show up, you do your things, and everyone goes away, and there's no ability for anyone to reinforce. That's usually the desirable situation. But here you're deep within enemy territory. How do you prevent
I think
them
we're just gonna have
from
to tell them
surrounding
to-
you?
Yeah, we'll
Meet us
get
on
them
a
to meet us
different
off island. Yeah, I think that's probably just better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means then the jobs we have to do here is find Mildred Ruby Price. We need to do something about bail. Maybe. Or we need to at least decide what we're going to do about that. And... well, maybe if we can find Wiley's friends, give them a piece of Wiley's mind for leaving him behind. Not like it was
How'd you
hard to
guys-
bust him out.
How did you guys search?
Well, I just had a wander around the slums. Thought I might run into the place, but no dice.
Sale will kind of laugh and like, I mean, what do you mean, Serge? Like, you just walk up to buildings and you look in them. And if they're abandoned, they're abandoned.
Well, you
Yeah,
gotta be
well-
sneaky about it.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
go during the day, you go at night. You probably don't just go and poke your head in. You have a watch, you have a lookout.
I like
Make
slap
sure
the
nobody's
captain in
looking.
the arm, and I'm like, That's what we were doing wrong.
That's what we were doing wrong, yeah. You see? Nelrum's the brains of the operation. Well, either way, we've got a couple of weeks here until the Inquisitor will be done with our paperwork. So we shouldn't act in haste. We should take our time, make sure any moves we do make are well thought out, because this is a dangerous place. Might look safe here, but this is probably the most dangerous place we've been.
Why I didn't kill those guards the moment I saw him, Captain.
Wow,
There's
how
you.
restrained of you, Nora. Wow,
No,
you really
has
have.
shown
You've come a
incredible
long.
restraint.
Yeah, he's come a long way.
Truly have.
You're really proving that you're able to listen, Nora. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
are
like
we in
I
our
said,
room at this point?
I think we're like in a corner in the bar. There's music. We're whispering. I feel like that's okay. Unless anyone's reading our mind, of course.
Yeah. Should be fine.
Fine.
So we were thinking with Sale's brother. Maybe Sale, it's enough for you to invite him on a walk along the coast. Tell him that you wanted to go and take a look at the farmlands out there, and it was dangerous. So maybe he could go for a walk with you. We could head out there maybe earlier in the day, camp out at an approved spot, wait for the confrontation. If things go wrong, we can intervene. If not, we can just
I'm
see.
always for killing people, but why are we killing this guy?
I'm not saying we should kill him.
What is our interest with?
That's what I'm going to ask. Like, I mean, my interest was to try and get him to go home to Mother, but now, I mean, I guess probably the best outcome for us would be to get him off the White Prince's side, to get him out of the priesthood. So, how do we achieve that?
Well, kidnapping him might be difficult.
Yeah.
Having him come willfully would be easier.
The issue is we
Anyway.
can't kill him. If we kill him, it's weird because Sale's here now.
Yeah.
What if we just show him a god that's cooler?
That's what I was thinking, Archie.
So I'm thinking to myself about my encounter with the cleric of Ponos, where he was able to confer to Ponos some knowledge of something about Rohi. So now I'm a bit concerned about this plan. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know if I agree with that, lads. I don't know if that's what we should do.
Seemed on board the other day.
It just seems like an awful lot of risk for very little gain. I mean, in a way, I have a bond to my brother, regardless of the things that have gone on between us. Perhaps him alive and well and in correspondence with us is a good thing, even if he's here. Bless an inside man, and I don't know.
Maybe, well, if that's the case, I'm not telling you how to deal with your family matters, Sale. That's your own business. If that's the case, then maybe Bale here might be able to help us find Mildred. I'm sure as a cleric of the town, he has some sort of record of the people that live here. Now, we're making a slight gamble that Mildred's not like a necromancer or some crazy shit like that that's going to get us instantly locked in chains. But assuming that she's not, he might be able to help us. Have to come up with a reason, but
Yeah, we would have to come up with a reason. I think you're right there. I don't know. I mean, the people here in this land, they seem to be incredibly tight and bureaucratic. They have lists of everything. They have records of everything. Everyone who's ever stepped foot on this island has a note about them. So I can't imagine, if she's using her real name, that they wouldn't have a record of her.
yeah. And almost like going to him and asking him the question in a way projects a certain level of innocence, right? I mean, might give him less reason to be suspect of us, depending on what he saw when he read Norum's mind. Might
That's
be,
true.
might help smooth things over or something.
I could
Build
also go
rapport.
to him with a more conciliatory stance and apologize for my reaction, just that it's hard to overcome our past. And that might warm his attitude towards us.
Yeah, and I think having an ally in this man, regardless of his familial status to you, would be useful. an inside man, especially one who trusts us, could prove more valuable than any gold or any magic. Maybe not
I
any
think I
magic,
do.
Elrim.
Like, you should see what he plans, Captain. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I think that's a good idea. I think we may never be true allies, but at the very least, a secret concordance, a certain acquaintance level sort of information exchange would be at least useful.
Okay, well, I'm happy with that. We send Sale off to go and find Bale and ask him if he can help us find Mildred Price. We go and deal with that. We keep looking for the Thieves' Tavern if we can find it. Maybe have a word with some of Wiley's friends. If not, never mind. And we also need to write that letter, find out where the Tensors live, work out exactly what we want to ask for, and then drop the letter off in a way that they'll find it for sure, but not right away.
Great. Starting with Sale, is there any reason that you wouldn't want to just go ask somebody where Father Bale is? You could ask around town and probably in half a day find your way to him.
Is there a reason I wouldn't do that?
Yeah, because that's the most straightforward method. Is like, where do the clerics live? Where's Father Bale? And then someone will eventually direct you there.
My only worry would be running into an Inquisitor wearing their helmet. Otherwise, because he was with the Inquisitor at the docks, so I assume. So it would be ideal to ask where the clerics are, and then go at night.
I mean, he did tell you where he lived, right? He had he lived on Green Street with a red door. You could
Yeah, I
just
think
show
so.
up to his place.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds like the most straightforward and fun way to approach things. Just go straight there.
So that's how we're going to find Bale. As for searching for thieves' guilds and abandoned buildings, that's just going to be a function of time. We've made our rolls, so it'll take a while.
With Nilrim, does it change at all or no?
I
So
think...
the smart guy of the party comes in. Up to you.
Yeah, give me an int check, Mr. Nilrum.
Not feeling good about it. I give it.
Okay. Yeah, with Nilrum here and some revised stratagems, you'll be able to find an abandoned building more quickly. We'll sort of take an average of your two rolls, and it'll only take you like 5 days to find an appropriate building. Large enough that you guys would have a little bit of sound insulation. You know, you're not like cramped up against other things. Enough space around the building. Definitely abandoned, not really used. The front door is locked. And as you kind of scout out the side of it, you'll notice there is a back door that leads in from an alley, which is also locked. There are a couple of high windows placed up, like above head height at the 8-foot mark. It seems to be some sort of defunct, crumbling warehouse. Like the brick on the wall is kind of coming out, and if you were to grab a brick, in a couple of places you can wiggle them back and forth. This looks less abandoned and more condemned, like structurally dangerous. Do be careful as you're walking around in it. It is multi-story, but you can't see through any of the windows. But otherwise, as long as it doesn't fall down on top of you, no one's going to come into this condemned building.
That's good for business.
Building.
That night when we were in our hotel room, I used cantrip, and I'm gonna create an ethereal choir to sing for the and play music.
An ethereal choir appears, or not so much appears, but is around you in your room at night, making what sort of music?
I'll just go with what the spell says. Tinkling, including tinklings of ethereal music. So, tinkling.
Okay, so someone using a triangle or some other very simple instruments to create a few tones here and there. Not a full orchestra, but just some sort of gentle background, pleasant music that reminds you of being in a natural setting.
It says 1 hour per level. Can I change the cantrip as I want it? Can I change it to be then glowing balls that float over the caster's hand?
Yes, you can sort of
Okay, cool.
cycle through these different things, but they all require a little bit of concentration from you to switch between. So they're not like you could have a cantrip effect going as you're walking and then
As
just
you're,
like
fighting or
change
something,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. You would have to be like sitting and focusing on the act
Stop,
before
think
you.
about it.
Yeah.
Sale has come up with the perfect thing to say to annoy Neilrum. I'm like, oh, Neilrum, you're like a wizard bard. Are you going to create music?
I'm better than a bard. You fucking doubt.
No. Don't get too upset. It's a nice spell, though. It's a neat trick. What else can you do?
He'll do like
Any-
the floating balls. He'll do like a puff of wind to maybe like blow out a candle. Apparently you can spice up the aromas and flavors of bland food.
Oh, that one could prove useful.
And I'll have little whirlwinds go around and sweep like dust under rugs.
Very good.
Very useful
Well,
spell.
This is what you spent 100 gold to go and learn?
Genius. It's my favorite spell so far.
Yeah,
Finest
all
spell
right.
yet.
Well, just because you blew all your gold getting on and off the ship doesn't mean that I'm giving you any more wages, though, Nora.
Well, to be fair, I was there to help the kid out. Make sure he was handled. But
Oh, yeah, okay. That's
all right.
fair enough.
I feel
Right.
like this could be useful on the outer rim. Ingratiate ourselves with the locals, entertain them in the tavern.
I mean, in a world where hiding one's magical abilities is of the utmost importance, I'm not sure a spell that centers around showing off to be that
Come on,
useful.
Captain.
Yeah, maybe I
Outer
underestimated its
ring.
ability.
have some fun.
You're right. The outer
You
ring
ever
will
look
soon
into
be...
the eyes of a child as you show them what true magic looks like?
Can't say I
Kind of a
have,
wicked
Miller,
smile.
no.
I can tell you at least 5 children who've seen such beauty.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure you want to go around talking about that. Honor amongst thieves, my friend. There's many a man that I'd work with who'd cut your throat for what you did back there.
Oh,
You still don't get it. What's the difference between a child and an adult?
Yeah, well, I think you're the only one who can't see that. Anyway, we've all made our peace with what happened, and I don't want to rehash it now. So, right. Nilrim, we got to write a ransom note to the Tensors. This is your plan. You're the one who knows what you want from them. You're in charge of writing the note.
Okay.
Okay? The rest of us, we need to find out where they live and try and find a good way to deliver it. Might be that the best way to deliver it is for me to maybe sneak in there and put it somewhere where they'll find it eventually, but I don't think we can go and knock on the door, for example. Don't think we can post it through the letterbox. It's got to be kind of handed off in a way that we could. Well, actually, the easier thing to do might be to give it to a courier via a street urchin and have it delivered in a week after we leave or something.
Where do we want to meet them?
The danger with that is how do we know it's delivered as well, and where do we want to meet them?
What if we meet them at the docks on I forget the name of it, the island with the skeletons.
Sulphur Island.
What
That's
if
what
we
I was
meet them on Sulphur Island?
Could piss off our friends.
Not if
Show
we do it.
them
If we do it in the
the
town.
horrors. Yeah, we do it in the town. They should be fun. I agree.
Okay.
All right.
You can start to writing your letter. How are you going to
I'll
find?
write. I'll DM it to you.
How are you going to find MR Price? Same thing as with
So-
Bale. Just ask around.
Well, I was going to see if Bale has any records of the town, but otherwise, probably our best way is to look for an area of the town with significant suffering, because that would probably be where she hangs out if she is following whatever they're doing on Nightcrawler Island.
Excellent. Well, let's just tackle these one at a time then. But let's do it on the other side of our break. When we get back, we're going to find out what is going on with Bale and Sale. Hopefully that will lead to information about MR Price. And if not, then we can do condemned buildings, we can do ransom notes, and we can do trying to get in good, find and then get in good with the local thieves. All of that and more on the other side of our break. See you soon.
I think it's Ferris.
Hi. My did over
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. Sorry, I tried to tell you we were coming in, and it turned out my mic was muted the whole time. But welcome back to Tides of Death, everybody.
All right, we're back.
Mm-hmm. So, Sale, you're going to go meet Bale one night after work. You go to his house. You find the green street. You find the building with the red door. And there's a light on inside. Someone's in there doing something by candlelight, but the curtains are drawn to make it hard to see in. What are you going to do?
I will knock upon the door confidently.
You give a strong rap. You can hear the sound of something like a book being closed and the padding of soft feet on a hardwood floor as the door opens, and there stands Bale in his resplendent white robes of the priests of Astaire. He looks a little surprised to see you, and then without a word backs out into the doorway, holding the door for you, and says, "Brother, please, come in."
Having been welcomed, I will step into the threshold.
Mm-hmm. I am so happy that you've come to see me. Can I get you hot tea, water, mulled wine, apple cider?
Mulled wine, please, brother.
Of course.
Mulled wine.
He'll make his way through the very small two-room apartment. There's sort of like a parlor kitchen-y area, and then there's like one door in the back that probably leads to a bedroom. The trappings in here are not particularly fine. The nicest things are the robes that he wears and the medallion of Astaire that hangs around his neck. Everything else looks like it's second or third hand, probably when he bought it. One of the tables is like being propped up by a nice flat rock under one of the legs to keep it level. The other clothes here that aren't his fancy robes that are just like hung on pegs look a little bit tattered and worn. There is a hand-drawn like family portrait that stands like on his hearth. It's not particularly good. It looks like fairly crude, but it does look like a hand-drawn picture of your family. Go ahead.
I will comment on these surroundings and say, brother, you haven't found yourself in the lap of luxury here, have you?
Well, I serve the people, and I serve his great holiness, the White Prince. Poverty is the mark of a good man, don't you think?
It's the mark of a poor man. And I'll laugh at my own joke. I'll say, seems like a waste. If you can make the money, why not make it? If you can take the money, why not take it?
There's a fish in the sea for every type of man that exists. Clearly, you've become a powerful merchant in our time apart. Or powerful sailor, connected with rich and wonderful people. I'm happy for you.
A bit more of a treasure hunter, you know. We find lost, abandoned things, and we liberate them from ancient tombs. It's quite fun sometimes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. It almost sounded like you said you were a grave robber. What is it that you do?
No, we don't rob graves. We find like shipwrecks and old things. We're scavengers. I just made it sound cooler. I made it sound
of course. Yes. There's a good place in the world for everyone. I hear finding the right shipwreck can bring you great wealth. And I know the White Prince always pays to have his treasures returned to him. He must be quite the provider for you.
For sure. I did come here for a reason. Well, many reasons. I've many things I want to talk to you about. The first of which is I wanted to come to you with some contrition about my behavior in the bar. I appreciate that you were understanding that it was difficult for me to see you again after all these years.
Of course.
But I didn't come just to make peace with you, brother. I also need your help. I assume you may have access to some records here. I am looking for someone by the name of M.R. Price, and we're trying to find her. I forgot that we never actually talked about like what the reason we were looking for her was.
Our Price, the Mildred Price.
Yeah, Mildred Price.
Of course, I know Mildred. Yes, she's the head notary in the administration building.
Oh, that makes my life so much easier. We just have a message for her. If you could tell her we're looking for her, or tell me where that is, and we'll send her the message.
The head administration building, of course, and he gives you directions to where it would be. It's on the north side of the harbor. It's a large, like, fortified castle building. There's that little island in the harbor where, like, the White Prince is mostly stationed, but it doesn't make for very good, like, day-to-day administration functions. So there's also a couple of major buildings in this area right here, right around the river, where the, like, day-to-day functionings for the town are held. And this is more of, like, the White Prince's major outpost and command central. So the building in question is, like, right over here. Oh, wait, you can't see that, can you? Right over here-ish.
Gotcha. So it's like the governor's building before the administration.
Yeah, it's like the big town hall.
It's going to be near the customs house. It's going to be near all the things.
Exactly. And he referred to her as the head notary, which is probably a position of pretty important stuff. She's probably the one who, like, signs off on all of the documents that need signing off on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, brother, for this information. This is incredible.
Of course.
You've
I'm
made
always
my life.
happy to help our mail couriers deliver letters to and from.
Oh, well, you take all the work you can. I mean, it's not like every day you find a shipwreck.
Of course.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, before you fully commit yourself to the White Prince, I would at least ask that we could maybe go on a small journey together, a month or two. You could ask for that much time off before you swear your vows, I'm sure. We could do a loop of the Dardanelles and just spend time together. You don't have to give me your answer now. You may think about it.
It is often encouraged that those who will swear themselves for all eternity to have one last look around to make sure this is what they want to do. I was very confident in my decision until you arrived yesterday. Now the White Prince is a wise man. He knows that we need time to sample all of life to make up our minds, that oaths should not be taken lightly.
And don't forget, even, it's not as if you'll stop serving him. It's just, you may find a path that is more adventurous in the world. Or you may come straight back here and continue on your current path. But I don't think anyone would begrudge you taking your time to have a look around first.
Let me speak to Lady Goldmane in the morning and see what can be done. I'll find you back at your inn when I have my answers tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds great. But come, brother, let's spend some time talking and telling stories.
Breathes a sigh of relief and pulls out a couple of blankets, gives you the less worn one of the two, and brings you over towards, like, the fireplace, puts a little bit more wood on the pile, brings out the pitcher of mulled wine, sets it on the table between the two of you, and gives you sort of an accounting of his life over the past decade or whatever it's been. He tells you more about the time he spent in prison, jailed by these people, how it was that he came to be free, the people that he met. There was that lieutenant in the town's guard that was helping him out for a while. He just kind of gives you a gentle accounting of his life. Stays a little bit on the light of the White Prince side. He can tell you're, not a super religious man, so he doesn't go into a lot of detail about his time in the church. Just the big strokes.
I let him. I don't know if I already did this, but I let him know that we actually found John Brophy as well, and that if he comes with us, he can meet him again and see him.
Oh, yes, that
and
very exciting for him.
I'll spend a little bit of time reminiscing about the good parts of our childhood, like the time that Dennis fell off a tree, and Layla fell in the river and got covered in mud and had to walk home for 2 miles crying, and we all thought that was really funny because we were all like little sociopaths.
Yes, and he'll laugh and reminisce with you about all these wonderful things and chime in too about the time that Marshall was trying to build that fort in the tree, and the weight of his girth like snapped the branch, and so forth and so on.
He was so fat. What an idiot. How could he think he could build a fort in a tree?
The evening will pass with relative pleasantries, and eventually, as the wine pitcher empties, he'll tell you that he must prepare himself for bed. He needs to be well rested for work in the morning. You might not understand the interworkings of this, but a cleric needs a clear head every morning in order to worship their deity and bring the deity's spells to mind, and allow the holiness of Astaire to permeate your body, to allow you to work his magic. So, as much as I am enjoying this, I must bid you adieu.
Very well, brother. Sleep well. Prepare your worship in the morning, and good luck to you. I hope to see you tomorrow. And I'll take my
Okay.
leave.
Good. Can't get any bait out of you. That's fine. That's fine. The next day.
I was gonna ask, can I cast the reverse of Dispel Fatigue to force him to have those spells? If I could do that.
If you have Dispel Fatigued memorized right now, then you'd want to cast it on him without him noticing it, right?
Yeah.
That might be tough.
Yeah, I didn't prepare it, but I was gonna be like, well, this could be like a fun little thing. No, my original plan going in here was like I was gonna be like, brother, read my mind, and I'll show you the truth of the White Prince. But I think that might be a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
We might try that a different time.
Soften him up first a little bit. Yeah. Great. Well, party back together. It comes time.
So rather than it being the next day, would Sale not like return to the inn?
Sure, it could be that
That
night.
night.
Yeah, totes.
We're probably up drinking, waiting for you, right? Sale. How did the meeting go with your brother?
Surprisingly well, considering just like looking at him actually creates a burning fire of anger in my heart. But that has softened, mostly thanks to the wine, actually. I don't know how many glasses I've had, but I think I got lost in the way here a couple of times.
It's
But the
many a
meeting
man
went
that I
well.
wanted to kill until a few drinks of wine, and we've ended up embracing. So I'm not too surprised by that.
Yeah, I'll relay the basic facts of the story about that I got him to maybe think about coming with us on a journey if we so wanted to maybe try and convince him. I know we kind of talked about that, but I thought it would be good to have our options open when I thought of a good way to convince him in the moment. I'll let them know about Mildred Ruby Price and the administration building, and that she's head notary.
Head notary. That is not what I expected.
No, but it might work out in our favor
I
if
feel
she
even.
is an ally.
Yeah, we're gonna walk into a place like that.
We
I'd
can
rather
always
meet
send-
her somewhere informally,
Oh yeah, for sure. We could probably send a message, ask to meet her, maybe in one of these taverns or at her place of residence. That would probably be the best thing to do.
What would we write in such a letter? Like, we want to talk about your connections in Oliver Island. And we don't really know what we're here to find out.
I think the best thing to do would be to make it about some kind of business that she would be interested in.
Let's just try to say that we're friends from Alba Island who want to catch up. I'm sure that would intrigue her enough, right? They sent us here for her.
For sure.
Did they? Wait, hang on. Did they? Do we know that? As far as I remember, Sale just woke up with this name in his head. We don't know what we're here for. We don't know whether this is a friend or a foe or someone with information, someone with a quest.
Sale told us that we were supposed to come here and find
Show her the note.
Show her
If
the
we
note.
show her the note, she becomes our friend. That's
Wait,
all.
what note?
The picture of the mountain.
I'll produce it.
Oh, the mountain.
The mountain.
Wait, what if we just send her the note? With a letter saying
Tavern
meet.
spot?
Yeah,
I
like
have
a note.
I have a strong memory that the note is triggering some kind of magic, and that we may need to be present for it to take effect.
Magic. I
Uh,
remember you saying this before, Sale.
The memories are kind of hazy, Captain.
Oh, it seems to be coming all back now, though.
Speaking of notes, Norm will pull out the ones that he's crafted. How does this sound? And I'll hand it over to the captain for him to read. And then
I snatch it.
I will send you the new one. There you go. Read it aloud for the crew, Captain.
Okay. It says, I have your son. I killed his inquisitor who was there to protect him. You will meet me in 1 month's time on Sulphur Island. The lord of the house must come with his men, not the white princes. I want Tenser's book. You know the one I speak of. I will know if you stray from this plan. Your son will die a painful death if you don't comply. See the included book to understand what it is in for. Ferris's one true heir. Wow, nice, Norm. There's some flair in that.
And then Norm will produce the Ponos ritual book and slide it across the table.
Well,
Should be good, right?
it's not subtle. Yeah, I guess it'll work.
And
Okay. Fine.
we just get an errand boy to run it over, yeah?
Right before we leave, let's scout a place out. As we're going back on the ship, we'll drop in, we'll give it package, book and note included, seal together. Deliver this to the Tenser estate in a week's time. Yeah?
Amazing.
Which means that we've got 5 weeks to meet them on Sulphur Island after we leave.
Perhaps a date would be best to leave a date.
Sure, you can pick a date that is 4 or 5 weeks from this time.
Yeah.
You
Whatever
are
whatever we think is going to be the best, yeah.
Yeah, you're
I just don't know
expecting
the
to
dates.
leave on like the last day of August 31st. So, like the 14th. Well, you said 1 month, so like September 30th then. Yeah.
How long do I think it'll take to get there from here? Because I might
let's
change it from a month
see.
if it's so.
Yeah, let me. To get from the mid ring to the outer ring for more sort of a medium or like a regular cargo ship, usually takes you about 22 days for a cargo ship. If they have like a better ship, it could take as short as 15, and that's just to do. That would get them out
I'll press them and I'll put 3 weeks
here.
from the day that we leave, and I'll figure out that timing.
Yeah, so it would take them like 15 days to get to this island, and then you wanted to do it on Sulphur Island.
Yeah.
One of these two, yeah. That would take you another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 islands at a speed of next port in line at a speed of like one island every day. A little less than an island, a little more than an island a day. So it'll take,
month's
yeah, it'll
about
probably take about a month.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Great.
Wait, so Nilram, you're saying you're going to make it so they've basically got a decision and move straight away?
A nod. Within the day, within 2 days.
The less
Of
time they have
receiving
to
it.
think, the less time they have to be treacherous.
Maybe I'll put it for the lady of the house. She receives it. She probably wants her son back more than the father will. The father might try to hide this letter away. But if she reads it first, she'll know it exists. Probably our best chance.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
He'll pen that.
Well,
yeah.
all right. Well, we've got to set up this meeting with Price. So, how are we going to go about that? We need to write another note. Right?
What's our problem with just going and setting up a meeting with the notary?
Things
I'm
go
sure that
badly.
we need to get some documents notarized for our new ship, correct?
That is true.
Do we? Is that not being handled by them?
Sure that if it's handled by them, we need to put pen to paper as well. I asked the DM.
They are more or less taking care of all of the things, and the documents are being done on the the big island, or not the big island, the small island in the harbor. So the dock paperwork is being done sort of out of reach of you guys, and when they hand it to you, it should more or less be done. You might have to like
Ready?
sign it, just to put your name on it so your signature is obvious. But as for things in the main administrative building, there are always things that you can do. You know, there are questions that you can have. You could ask about like customs officials and whatnot. If you need
notary? I feel like we're not going to get a meeting with the chief notary just because we've got a question.
That's true. You'd probably speak to someone lower down on the chain. How do you get to talk to like a head bureaucrat?
It would
just think that,
probably
like-
be some sort of prestigious contract that she would want to preside over. So if we made something up, like an important contract of some kind.
We don't know what this is about, and if she's self-conscious of her history or her connections on Albert Island, trying to force this meeting at her place of work might just make her nervous. Why not? If we pose as friends from back home, why wouldn't she want to meet us in a tavern? We can make it a nice tavern, somewhere where it's not too sketchy, somewhere where she wouldn't be too worried. Still where we can have privacy.
An opportunity to dress up, Captain. You'd never miss one of those.
Exactly. Maybe we
Seems
write
fine.
something in the notes. We are friends from back home in Albert Island. We'd like to discuss with you. You know what about? Meet us at the Feather and Hat, and at sundown tomorrow night or something like that.
It's a fine plan. Just hear this one out, and then you can make the decision. What if we just, you're a man of the shadows, captain? Can't you just kind of hang out outside the building, wait for her?
Look for her.
I'm sure
We
that
don't know what
she'll
she
say
looks like
goodbye.
though.
I'm sure that the guards will say goodbye, Miss Price or
Mrs.
so-and-so.
Price.
Then you could
Yeah.
stumble
Well,
upon her.
We've got time to kill. Why don't you give me a day or two to watch the place? And if nothing comes up, then we can go to the notes. I think that's probably wise.
Okay.
Sounds good. Nilram is going to be, tell me if this works, cantripping a mithril coin with his face on it. And he's doing like the finger thing where he's like
Yeah.
bringing it forward and back. Can he get that precise?
You can get a mithril coin with your face that dances across your fingers, absolutely. But it's going to be fairly obvious that it's some sort of like magical trick, right?
Actually, okay. So if anybody's looking over, they will notice magic.
I mean, someone gazing from a distance might not, but if you have
But
like
if
an
someone came
audience
close
before
and was,
you,
like, looking at it, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do I think that I can get away with this without causing any campaign difficulties, or no?
What do you mean get away with this? What are you trying to do here, buddy?
Fuck it, Nilram does it.
what are you doing, Nilram?
Nilram has his coin and he plays with it.
Just in the
tavern.
bar? Just hanging
Just
out?
in the bar. He's not flaunting it to people, but he is doing it absently minded, probably pretty often.
Okay. Cool. All right. I've made my roll. The next day, the party's
Well, no.
No?
That night I'm going to go hang out by the notary building. Or by the
oh well, by
administration
by now
building.
it's already closed.
Oh, okay.
by the time-
The
you know-
next day then. Fine.
Yeah. The next day during your day, you're walking around looking for, as a group, right? All four of you are walking about looking for this.
I think just the
these
captain.
thieves things.
Oh, the thieves.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
still nice to check out Wiley's
Mm-hmm.
mates.
Yeah, when we run into a situation here in the streets, stop it, cat, of towns. I have to get rid of this animal. It is. Oh. Bad. You're walking through the streets of town when you see a crowd gathering in one of the large boulevards here in Port-Prince. There's a lot of heads being poked around, a lot of backs too. Everyone seems to be focused on something in the middle of the street.
Guess we
Is
get a
this-
bit closer.
Yeah, is this of interest to you? Do you guys want to, rubberneck and gawk and see what's happening, or are you trying to keep a low profile and staying away from all the interesting things?
We'll
Nilram
be in
is-
the crowd.
Very curious.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah, you shuffle forward. Can I get perception checks from everyone in the party, please?
We're nailing them today.
Woody.
The next character I make, the second highest stat is going to perception.
I don't think I've ever had a character with good perception.
Right. So the cleric and the wizard in the party, obviously, are the ones who notice what's coming from the other side. You all press forward, you move into the crowd, trying to get a view of what eventually appears to be a dead body in the middle of the street. And everyone's hemming and hawing over it. There's a pair of guards keeping everyone at bay. But the wizard and the cleric see coming down the street in your direction is what appears to be another soldier of some kind, an officer with like fancy pauldrons, and a wizard who is walking beside them. And when they get to about 30 feet from the crowd, the wizard pauses for a moment, raises their staff to the air, tosses a white feather, which sort of floats to the ground, and a large cone of fear comes across the entire gawking audience. Guards, onlookers, player characters, dead bodies are all caught within a cone of fear. I will need everybody except for Archie in the party to make me saving throws against petrification, please. Failure, pass.
Everyone except me, yeah?
Fail. Everyone except for Archie. So,
All right.
Captain Winters, you are overcome with magical fear, but you can grit your teeth and resist it. You've got Archie sort of like in front of you and beside you. Archie, you're not even affected by this in the slightest. But the rest of the crowd like screams and immediately vacates the area, beginning to back out. Archie and Captain John, the two of you are unaffected by this, but can act as if you want while the rest of the crowd flees.
I think I will like back up slowly. I won't like run away, turn tail, and flee. But I'll make that like I'm scared and trying to get out of the way whilst moving backwards slowly and keeping an eye on what's happening.
What about you,
Yeah.
Archie?
Archie will follow his captain's lead. He will put on his brass knuckles, raise his fist, but walk backwards.
Obvious that this was a spell, right?
Obvious that this was a spell.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Stepping into view is this officer and this mage and the soldiers with them. The other soldiers that were keeping the body at guarded have all fled with the cone of fear. The officer and the soldiers will come and start inspecting the body, but the wizard turns his attention to the people who are slowly backing up and not running with fear, and his brow furrows a little bit, and he takes a couple of more steps towards you, ignoring the officers and the body. What are you going to do, Archie and John?
I'll stop.
I will follow my captain's lead and stop as well.
Good
Everything all right,
afternoon, citizens.
Good afternoon.
We got a problem here? I mean, cause any trouble?
Yeah, you're looking at this guy. You can see like there's some sort of striping symbolism on his shoulders. You're not intimately familiar with the wizarding ranks within the White Prince's area, but he's definitely got like lots of stripes. Lots of stripes has got to mean high ranks, right? His clothes are fairly immaculate. His shoes are well bonded. He wears symbols of a stare on his clothes as well. The two of you are brave men. It's a rare man that can stand against the arcane powers I possess.
We're
Who are you? Give me your names.
We're from Arcadia, my lord. This is not the first time I've seen magic. I apologize. I'm not here to get in your way.
He looks to Archie. And you, sir?
I'm with him. I'm also from Arcadia. I've seen a lot of magic in my day. Not here to cause any trouble, sir.
Mm-hmm. I'm always on the lookout for assistants and apprentices who are well versed in magic, who will not balk at the things that we must do. He says, like, sort of vaguely, pausing and holding that question for a moment. Do either of you have employment?
We have our own ship. We wander around looking for shipwrecks, things like that. But we're in town for the foreseeable.
That's a pity.
Sounds like honest work, though. Could help you out.
I'm looking for a full-time assistant. If you have your own work, then so be it. What did you say your
hang
names
on.
were?
My crew needs to be fed. Wages are expensive these days, and
Yes.
we're finding fewer and fewer wrecks out there in the seas. Perhaps a change of occupation wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I assume that this work pays well.
What were your names?
Okay, just out of character for a second. The when we were at the dock, did we have to give the name that was like registered to the ship? Or did we
Absolutely.
just give our real? So
Well,
can you
you-
remind me what that name was? I don't recall that we were ever
Name
heard
that
it.
you always give. I think Waterford.
Well, was it Waterford or was it whoever owned the ship before us?
No, you had to give
Ooh.
a name that the ship will be registered in.
Okay, so it's Waterford. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Name's Waterford.
Barchi.
This is my first mate, Barchi.
And what is the name of your ship? Is this the Forbidden Fruit?
It's the Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah. Here.
Sorry, no.
That's fine. It's fine. He studies your faces for a little bit. Well, if you ever decide that the sea no longer calls you, please look me up.
And what would your name be?
It's gonna be Tensor.
Shit, yeah, it probably is. That would be cool.
I am Arknoster, he says, with a bit of a head bow. And you would know
Good to
that
meet you,
Ark is
Lord.
the honorific for like the highest ranking wizard in an area, the one who would act as like an assistant or an in-house wizard to the lord of the town. So this is
Guy's like hot shit. Because again, this is an important island as well, right? And he's the head wizard here.
yeah.
Is this Arknoster? Is this an invitation to visit you in your dwellings? Perhaps we can talk more there at length. I understand. You know, to give up a habit of the lifetime, to potentially give up my crew, I'd need to talk this through a bit more.
Of course. Please come find me if you have any more questions or would like to change your mind.
Where would I find you?
He gives his address. It's downtown-ish.
Is it
Okay.
a tower?
It's not in the tower. No, it's on the land. He is the head mage for the town, not for the White Prince. That's probably got a different arc, something that would be the head mage for the White Prince in town.
Out for a hand.
He will take your hand and shake it and turn to Barchi and reach out a hand to him.
I'll shake your hand.
Okay.
I'll leave you to your work.
He waves and turns back to the body on hand. This officer there is looking at him. They've rolled the body over. Someone's been stabbed. It's clearly
How
a murder.
many minutes did we flee for?
You're like on the other side of the city by now. It's just like 100 people running through the street in fear.
Asking all the clever questions, Mr. Nilram. You fled for 8 rounds.
Okay.
Dude, I'm gonna be absolutely tired after that. Jesus Christ. It's like 8 rounds just running.
8 minutes of pure like sprinting and running through the streets away from your source of fear. They continue to investigate the body. The party can eventually meet back up again and continue searching the town for some semblance of thievery, of subterfuge.
Well, hang on. I think we need to talk about what just happened. So when we finally catch up with Sahil and Nilram, you guys okay? Ran off in a little hurry there. Not sure what the big deal was.
Captain, were your eyes surgically removed in the night? He cast a spell of fear.
Yeah, okay. I saw that. I'm just pulling your leg, Sahil. You know? Apparently Archie and I are the only two here that aren't yellow-bellied. The wizard over here came to have a little chat with us. In fact, he offered me a job, would you believe? Said he's looking for stern folk who don't balk at the things that he has to do, whatever that means. But,
Sounds like dirty work, Captain.
well, the top and tail of it is that he invited me to his house to discuss it further. Now, Nilram, this guy said he's the arc wizard of this place, so I presume that means he's He's pretty powerful, but close quarters, unexpected. I think someone like Archie and myself could see to him. I'm sure such a man has great wealth and more than a few things that you'd be interested in. If we want a heist, well, we leave before we leave.
That's like trying to fight a bear in its cave, Captain. He's not going to have an undefended home.
His guard will be down there.
I think the actual best place to fight a wizard is probably
It is left.
somewhere like that. Yeah.
Really? I thought he would have like magical defenses and like
No.
on really.
Not at that level.
Oh well, right.
He'll have
I don't
like
want that.
alarm, maybe, but
You don't know
unless
what level
he's
it is.
having. We know he's 8th level.
Do we?
Nilrim knows he's 8th level.
No, I'm not
How?
8th level. I railed Arcanology and Spellcraft, and I assume that I would.
Yeah, you
No,
know
that's
that-
very
you know that-
reasonable.
He's bright enough.
No, you know that fear. So he's at least level 7, but.
Well, no, I know for the number of rounds that I ran that he's. 8th level.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was frustrated that he asked me such a telling question.
Genius.
He is
That
genius.
is genius.
Yeah, like if he was level 12, I would be way more. No, but 8th
But-
level, I think that it could easily happen depending on how he rolled for each.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. If we could kill this guy and loot his spellbooks, that would see you through for a long time. Probably. In terms of
I'm
spells.
6th level right now, so it would get me the 4th circle of spells. Yeah, it'd be really good.
Quite powerful.
Let's go for a little walk in that district. Let's go and see what we're dealing with here.
The issue is when we do any of this stuff and then we leave the next day, the place is going to be on absolute fucking lockdown. So we
That's
would need
true.
to leave before they notice that he's missing.
Yep.
He's a wizard, though. We get rid of the body somehow, or we hide it. I mean, you're not going to presume the guy's been murdered if he doesn't turn up for a day, right? Wizards get up to all sorts of weird shit.
Fun.
Uh,
That's
A wizard
true.
like him probably has appointments. He probably has staff. He probably has a lot. No.
That's true. He probably has a book as well with all his appointments in it. Probably has a seal. We could write letters, make excuses.
Good work. It's dangerous though. It would have to be very, very close timing. It would have to be basically the
Day
night
we
we do it.
left.
We would have to leave
Yeah.
the morning.
I agree. Yeah, it would have to be timed well. If they found out it was us afterwards, who cares? We're already
Yeah.
wanted.
We're never coming back here then.
Well,
That's our boat, unregistered.
that's a good point, yeah. That's a good point.
How do you make a wizard just go missing?
Take him to the sea.
Okay, hear me out. It's a little gruesome, but I do have deep pockets, and it's extra dimensional space, and it can hold at least 100 pounds at a time. If we killed the wizard in his home, and we have a whole night
Wait.
to walk about, in theory, we could cut him up and put him in the pockets, and get rid of him that way. He's also a wizard, which means he might have an ooze in his base, like we have, and that would handle it all for us.
They also have. Do I know about scrying and like time pool and all that kind of stuff?
You are aware of some of these things. I'll let you sort of decide how aware you want to be.
I mean, divination magic also could sell us down the river. High-ranking individuals disappearing. There's definitely going to be the administration looking into that. Scrying, whatever else they know how to do.
They'd be looking into it, but
I would probably argue that you could say, "Show me the death of so and so," as
Yeah.
Anton. So I think that it should work.
well, they could kind of, there's a wizard spell that lets you see the last moments of somebody's life anyway. So they could see him being killed. Can you cast? Could you make it dark, Nora?
No, but Sale can. He can use dark.
I can.
Right. If you see the last moments of somebody's death, but it's pitch black.
Yeah, I could cast darkness on his eyes. Would make killing him harder, but
Just in the
And
real.
any spell that we cast on him is probably going to fizzle and not work.
Yeah.
is that some sort of protection wizards have?
Casting
Get good
something on
spell
somebody's
saves.
eye. Yeah, he's got good spell saves.
Gotcha.
Basically,
Do you
the
get a
goal is
resist
going to
for
be
light?
Archie. Yeah, you do. Saving a game. The goal is going to be Archie just kicking his ass.
Archie's quick. Between the both of us attacking him, he'd have to... Could he disable either of us with a single cast? Chances are we'd be able to interrupt him.
With his fear again, yes, but as long as you hit him, should be fine. I could cast a magic missile on him and break his concentration.
Well, that means you being in the meeting as well, which might be slightly more suspicious.
Bring your crew.
Yeah.
I shrug. Let's figure out the Mildred stuff first. One
Well,
step at a
here's the
time.
thing. We don't have to do it this time we're here in Port Prince. We can always come back and...
Sure.
Nilra might not even be ready for that book.
What if we go to meet the guy? Tell him that we're not ready to leave the seas behind yet, but if he's got something he wants us to do for him out there, we could do that. I could tie up some loose ends. Perhaps we could come back with whatever he needs and then work for him there. Need some time to sell my ship, get new jobs for my crew, that kind of thing.
I shrug.
That could work. All right. Why don't we? Like Norm said, let's get the note finalized. No, I'm going to go to the administration building now and see if I can find out where Mildred lives. Keep looking around for the for Wiley's Tavern if you can find it. Just yeah, if you see anyone looking suspicious and he wants to talk to you, just ask him, does the owl screech at midnight?
Okay.
And I'll head off.
What response am I looking for, Captain?
Yes. Well, affirmative, essentially. It means that they're in the know. And it proves that you're in the know, too.
And none.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, heading through the area of town, looking for something roguish related. You're not finding any of the... Should I say this? Can I get perception checks from the whole party, actually? This is an easier way.
Not me, or?
The whole party.
You're not here. Oh.
Well, the whole party that's walking around through town looking for the...
No.
Yeah, well, I left, so not me.
Well, there you go. PokemonChallenges. Of course, it's you with another natural 20. You will spot that someone seems to be following the three of you as you're walking through town. There's someone staying maybe 50 feet back, keeping an eye on you. You guys pause and they look in a shop window or stop to tie a shoe or something. At first, you didn't really think much of it, but after 15 minutes, and they're always keeping a 50-foot pace between you and them, you start to be aware that something is amiss. Are you concerned?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? I'm having a really bad ADHD day today.
No worries. As you're walking through town, you notice that someone is following you. They're staying about 50 feet back, and they'll as you pause, they pause and looking through a shop window or tie their shoes or something, and they're just sort of after a while, after 10 minutes of walking around, you notice they're still sort of following you and keeping a distance. Is this of concern?
Yeah, for sure. I will try to sneakily alert the others to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an easy enough thing to point their attention in the direction of this person.
I'll literally just elbow sail and move my head back towards. Be like, I think that guy's been following us for a while.
I'll glance surreptitiously over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That guy back there?
That's him.
Sure enough, there is a feller following you. Sort of shaved hair on the sides with a mohawk in the middle that's tilts over one side, wearing a nice leather vest and blue shirt. A small workman's dagger at his side, workman's knife really at his side. leather boots that come up to the mid shin, where, you know, decently dressed, looking sort of middle classy, sort of fashionable, seemingly not having anything to do at the moment, just sort of perusing and walking, but definitely following.
I'll whisper to Archie. Right. Best thing to do is to go around a corner and wait for him.
Let's do
Somewhere quiet. Grab him. Ask him why he's following us.
it. Yep.
Sorry, 2 seconds. My rabbit's eating the floor.
All right. The party heads round a corner, waiting to spring on this guy. Meanwhile, Captain John Winters, you are looking for Mildred?
Just going to the administration building and hanging around until people start to leave.
Got it.
And I'm going to
Well-
I look for someone to say, like, good night, Miss Price, or whatever.
Right. Well, we will see what happens to both halves of the party as each of them engage in a dangerous conversation, potentially, on the other side of our break. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Wonderful.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. We've got two dangerous situations. The captain is waiting to talk to MR Price, hoping that works out nicely. The rest of the crew has gone round a corner and is waiting for this person who is stalking them, who's following them through the city streets, to come round the corner too. Now let's talk about this corner party. When you saw them following you, you're on a main boulevard. You've walked a little bit away from them. What sort of corner are you looking to pick? Are you doing just the next closest one so that they have the least opportunity to escape and flee? Are you going to try and lure them into an area of town that has more narrow alleys or is less well traveled? Where do you want to set this ambush, knowing
a low-traveled area?
Yep.
Okay.
If they're following us, they're following us the whole way through.
Let's see if they follow you all the way to this zone. They do. Yeah. You go around a couple of streets, you take off on a side street, and then you find like a little side alley off the side street, and find an excuse to like look in through a shop window at something until this little side street is a little more quiet. You know, it's down the road a little bit is a main thoroughfare, but if you go off of this side street into the alleyway, the side street that you're on isn't very well traveled. So as long as that person gets pulled into the alley, it should be fine. If they can get back out onto the street off of which you've turned, they'll be within visual range of like that main boulevard. But as long as they come into the alleyway, it should be nice and quiet and dark. So around the corner we go. And how is the trap set?
I assume that I enlarge Archie, and he'll just grab the guy.
All right. Archie grows big and strong.
60% bigger.
Huge Archie. And then sure
And
enough.
I will be ready to assist.
Yeah. Where are you hanging out, Archie? Are you just at the corner? Are you a few feet back? Are you looking around the edge?
Couple feet back.
Couple feet back? Okay. All right. Waiting patiently. Give me a perception check at advantage, Archie, since you are like right near the corner listening for when this person would come around.
Nilram will do his cantrip, and he'll do the mithril coin, and he'll just place it a little bit on the ground, so like they can maybe see it, and their eye would go to that.
Okay. Yeah.
So 2 perception checks, right?
Yes. Perfect. Yes. You hear them just as they're about to step around the corner, and sure enough, they do. They don't quite step all the way around at first. They come to the corner and they start to look over, but then they see the coin on the ground, and they take a step around the corner and drop to one knee to grab at the coin. Because they botched their perception check. When you can make your move, why don't you make me an attack roll at +2 for their surprise and flank as you grab them. Oh, excellent grab. And give me an opposed strength check to rip them out. Well, they rolled a 3 and they have 11 strength. No contest there. You easily yoink them into the alleyway. Their eyes go wide. What is your immediate action?
I will press him against the wall.
The hands come up beside the face on either side, and they say quietly, "Hey, big fella. No need for violence."
Norman
Hey,
will
small
walk over.
fella. I hope
Hi.
there's no need for violence.
Norman will pick up his coin, put it in his deep pockets, and look at the guy and ask him why he was following him. Why are you following us?
I saw that confrontation out there. Near the dead body? The, Arknoster cast a fear spell on the town. This fellow right here, he says, sort of like looking up towards Archie, didn't even bat an eye. He didn't even go anywhere until the person next to him started backing off. Thought it would be useful to have a conversation with someone who can resist magic like that.
Well,
Well, just
Spit it out.
I didn't have anything in
Nilram
particular.
thinks
I'm
back
just
to what the
looking.
captain says. Does the owl screech at midnight? He asks.
Guy smiles. Of course the owl screeches at midnight. What other hour would an owl screech at?
Norman will ask Archie. Archie, would you put this kind gentleman down? I think this is exactly who we're looking.
Wait, what do you mean by put him down?
Just like
Archie
drop him.
asks.
Just like drop him. You know, he's not gonna
I'll
run.
Drop him.
Lands on his feet, smooths out his blue tunic and tightens the leather vest again. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And on. Weird question. Do you happen to know a man, or have known a man, named Wiley?
He shakes his head. No, I don't.
Well, he sent us here to look for some of his friends. By friends, I actually do mean friends this time. Maybe you could introduce us to your patriots? Give him a wink.
Perhaps could do. I was hoping to just have a pleasant conversation with the or two. Well, the other one's gone. You run as a foursome?
I wouldn't put it like that, but we are four.
We cohabitate.
Got it. Well, my name is Polly. Nice to meet you all. What are your names?
I am Merlin.
I just point at the Barchi tattoo.
See, lopsided Barchi tattoo. He nods. Looks to Sail.
I'm Darrow. We're giving our fake names, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Do
Darrow.
you say that in character?
No, I don't.
Daryl, Barchi, Merlin, pleasure to meet you all. As I said, I'm Polly. I'm hoping that there might be, I don't know, some way we could work together. People who are able to stand up to Noster are pretty few and far between. I was wondering what your general disposition was. What sort of businesses are you involved in?
We're pirates. Give Archie a nod.
That makes
How does
things
he
easy.
come across on his face? Yeah.
Yeah, he's bobbing his head in appreciation. Well. You've come to a dangerous place then. There are all sorts of wanted signs out there for pirates. How'd you dock?
We have our ways, friend. Maybe a conversation in a look around, better establishment, where ears aren't so, open.
Certainly.
Maybe we could have.
Yeah, I know a place. Why don't you follow me? I'll take you somewhere where we can chat more cozily. And he will lead you through some of the streets. And we will come back to this party in a little bit. In the meantime, our Captain Waterford.
That's right.
You're going to go lurk the administration building around sundown, yeah?
I mean, you say lurk.
Well, you said you wanted to just loiter about waiting to hear someone say goodnight, Lady Mildred, or something.
Loiter is a better word, yes.
Right.
Not lurk. Lurk implies violent intent.
Okay. You say so?
It does.
feel like loiter's worse.
Really?
Yeah, but that's alright.
That might
just
be
hanging
like
around, you know.
might be an English American thing. Like you would use the word scheme for things that don't have dark tones. You know, maybe there's just a cultural
Okay.
context.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so I've got days to do this. So this is my first day. I'm not taking any big risks here.
Right. Well, you find the main administration building. It's well marked and well labeled. Big stone walls, parapets along the top, guards out front, steps leading up to the main door, a couple other side doors around it. You know, there's a heavy military presence here. Big boulevards around it that are open, cobblestone roads paved throughout. So it's a little
I'll
hard to.
I'd do a loop around the
Just a
building.
heads up,
'cause I've-
Nilrim gave you the image
The
of
notes.
the mountain. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if you
okay.
need to give it to her, you can.
I do
Yeah.
a loop around the building because I figure that maybe this big grand front entrance, they don't necessarily all leave via that.
You'll see
Is this
guards.
in the middle of the city, or is it
Yeah,
kind of?
it is. Oops, right around here-ish. It's not showing up again. Where is? There we go. Right around here-ish.
Ping again, sorry, Neil.
Here.
Okay. Right, just right in the center there.
Yeah, right
So
where
there's
the
re-
river's
there's re-
confluence.
There's residential areas in every direction.
No, this is the downtown section. So you're going to see government buildings, warehouses, some trade posts. Residential is going to be a little bit further back from the main harbor, mostly.
Yeah, but I mean that like she could leave in any direction. To get back to her
Totally.
house.
Totally.
But she probably lives in the nice area of town, probably near where that wizard lives. So I will, during my time waiting, I will identify the main road that you would walk by to get to that area of town as well.
Okay. Yeah, can do. And now with all the open space around it, how are you going to loiter without being like observed by the guards? Unless you
I don't
don't
know, is
mind
there,
being
like-
observed.
Is there a cafe or a bar or something?
Across the
like,
street?
is that-
Totally, yeah. There's a bunch of little cafes across the street.
There you go. That's what I do.
But you won't be able to hear the guards say anything from across the street. How will you note?
No. But I can wait for people to start leaving, and then I can wander over. But at least this way, I'm not like standing by the guards for 3 hours.
Yeah, sure enough, a bell rings out signaling the 5 o'clock hour, and within 5 minutes or so, people begin to filter out of the main administrative building. The guards are holding open doors as people shuffle out. A small queue of people waiting to go in forms. 'Cause, you know, the doors aren't that wide, so people sort of stream out. Other people stand nearby waiting to go in. You can pay your little cafe tab of a silver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to imagine that the chief notary officer isn't leaving at 5. So I'm not too bothered about getting there super quick. I imagine she's not going to be in the first group leaving. So I pay my tab, and I might wander around the street a little bit. Is there nice architecture around here? Yeah,
It's very-
I'll stop and look at some of the buildings.
Yeah, it's very bold and upfront in your face. Lots of like second or third story things that jut out over the sidewalk areas to sort of like give you an imposing big brother leaning down over you and watching everything from above, with like boardwalks or avenues above them that you can like, you know, you'll see people up there looking down. And now that you're looking at the architecture, you notice on the tops of this main building are archers, or at least people who have like arrows nearby them on a quiver. They're not, weapons aren't drawn or anything, but there are people in the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I keep looking at, I'm wandering around from building to building, checking out the architecture with looking out the corner of my eye, back at the gate where people are leaving.
And your hopes are to hear someone call her by name.
Yeah, or to just find someone who looks really important leaving. But I think once the initial group of people leaving on the dot has happened, maybe it takes like half an hour, maybe like 5:30 or something like that, I'll start edging a bit closer towards the building itself.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a check? I'll let you sell me on whichever one you think is best for You're nonchalant, hiding in plain sight. I'm just a tourist looking at architecture. Is that a flat charisma check? Is it a hide in shadows? What do you got for me?
Well, I don't think it's hide in shadows. The chance on both is about the same. I would say it's more charisma than hide in shadows, yeah. Because I think it's about, knowing when to look away, knowing how to come across as non-threatening, knowing how to blend into the crowd, that kind of thing. So I'd say charisma.
Great. Roll it.
Come on, Nick. There you go.
Very good. Yeah. You find an excuse to even ask one of the guards about the style of architecture.
That's what I was going to get to. So once the initial group have left, I'm going to edge closer towards that building. I've probably even got like a little notebook where I'm like taking notes about the architecture. And then I'll make my way over to like one of the guards. In fact, no, I'll just stop like in front of the steps, where everyone's just been walking down, and I'll be like looking up at the building and like making little notes, maybe like doing like a little sketch. I'll stay there for 5 minutes and wait for someone to approach me, and if they don't, I'll go up to one of them.
Yeah, they actually leave you be as you're staring at this large, impressive building. 5 minutes pass as you examine, stairs and bulwarks and whatnot.
Hey there. Sorry, I know you're busy. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
She nods in approval.
This building here, it's fascinating. Do you know when it was built?
She breathes a sigh of like, God damn it, another tourist in my town. She goes into what sounds like a pre-established speech that she's probably given a lot of times before. Like, well, during the, after the fall of the Farron Empire, as the White Prince was consolidating his grips on the Dardanelles, bringing all the people into the light, Port-Prince was established as a major trade hub for the White Prince's empire, for the White Prince's,
Fascinating.
blah, blah, blah. And then she'll mention that, one of the signs that Port-Prince was going to be the new center in the Midlands was the establishment of the fortresses on the island to your left, and this building here. This is the Central Administration Building, and as you can see by the markings on it with the symbols of a stair, this is, the place where business is done, and you can see that over there is the Portal of Seor, god of crafting, because over there is where we, gives this like long, boring speech while her eyes like darting to the rest of the street back and forth. While this is going on, one of the other guards will give like a stiff salute and say, "Good night, ma'am," to one of these people walking out of the building, who's sort of like a smallish, mousy figure with, sort of dingy brown hair and nice clothes that aren't very well maintained, but look like they were bought, they were fancy when they were bought and they've just been held on to for a long time. And the sort of sullen figure will trot down the steps, give them a, gentle smile, and head off down one of the boulevards. This could be it, but no one used name.
Well, I watch the direction she goes. I say to the guard, "I'm meeting a friend this evening, so I must make haste. But I don't suppose you'd mind if I come back and take some sketches of the building, perhaps tomorrow or the day after? I won't get in trouble for hanging around, would I?"
No, the White Prince encourages all people to make artwork of such important historic monuments and pillars of our faith and society. You would be doing the whole world a kindness by further illuminating the glory that is the Dardanelles.
Thank you, my friend. I reach into a pocket and pull out like 2 gold pieces.
No, say, citizen. It is my pleasure to serve as your guard and ambassador to the glories of the Midlands and to the strength that is Port-Prince. Please.
Esther bless us and bless the White Prince. Thank you. Thank you, Bernard.
I'll bless the White Prince.
I fold up my notebook and put it in my jacket and then hurry off. Like shoulders hunched in the direction that I saw that woman walk.
Yeah. You follow her through the streets for a little bit.
Yeah. I want to find myself in a street where it's not too crowded, but there's definitely people around.
Well, that is going to be the residential area that this woman heads towards. You find a rather like moderately sized apartment block with a single shared entrance and a doorman, not quite a guard. They don't wear any armor. They've got like a stick at their side. But that's about it for defenses. and she will trot up the steps.
Well, hang on, before she gets there then, before she interacts with the guard, I want to like cut down an alley, right? But then not go very far. Stop at the edge where she wouldn't be able to see me. And then I will shout out at loud enough that she can hear, but as quiet as possible that she would hear. And go, Mildred! Like that, and just poke around the corner and see if she turns around.
So you're following her from a distance. You see her like take a left to go up these steps, and so you dart into the nearest section of concealment and just like, Mildred!
Yeah.
Give me a charisma check.
That's a genius plan. There you go, 21.
Just barely.
Perfect.
Yeah, she pauses and like looks over her shoulder.
Perfect. Okay.
She looks about for a bit.
I will come out of the alleyway and give her like a wave, and come hurrying over to her with the same non-threatening body language that I was doing before. So like shoulders clutched, sort of like clutching this like book to my chest, and sort of like, you know, running, like just appearing non-threatening.
She'll sort of come down the steps a little bit, head cocked to the side, confused, and as you get
Mildred Ruby Price.
I'm sorry, do I know you, sir?
No, I don't know you. I've not had the pleasure of meeting you, but I know your friends from Alba Island. Would it be possible for us to
I don't
talk
know anyone
only...
in Alba Island.
Can I just come inside? I have something I would like to show you.
She like clutches her belongings to her a little bit more closely. Excuse me, sir. No, of course not.
Wait. Please look at this, and I will like.
She like
I
starts to take a step back from you.
I open the notebook and like hand her the piece of paper.
She sees it and she looks at it and like steps forward again, and grasps it and goes, "This is a most magnificent. How did you know I collected paintings of mountains? Wow, this is just where. This is just a remarkable piece."
I look confused. Perhaps we could speak privately somewhere, maybe in a bar.
Is this for sale? Yeah, please come in. Come with me. I have something I want to show you. And she leads you into the house, up the steps, past the guard who waves at both of you with a smile on his face, up 3 flights of stairs into a doorway. Opens the door and heads into the house.
Okay, wait. So, just hang on. I didn't realize this was a fabulous painting.
It's not.
Isn't it? It's not.
It's not.
There's probably some magic to this. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a painting of a mountain, and it's like, sure.
Okay.
You know?
Like a trigger for hypnosis.
Okay. Yeah, I
She
follow her.
leads you into the room, takes off her bag, hangs it on the rack nearby, takes off her hat, puts it over there, kicks off her shoes, puts them politely in the little shoe rack, and waits for you to do the same.
Yeah, and take my boots off.
Yeah. And then she'll lead you into her living room, where there are, pictures of mountains sort of hung all over the place, and an easel. And she leads you over to the easel where she is currently partway through a painting, or more at this point, a sketching of a mountain that looks very similar to the one in your hands. It's definitely not the same.
Hang on, before we carry on. You described her as sort of mousy and shy and stuff before in old clothes. Now, are we talking about, if she had like a glow up, is she like a hottie, or is she kind of like an oldish, bookish? Would John be
What's her
attracted
hotness
to
is
her?
what he's
What I'm
asking.
asking.
How hot is she?
Well, I'm trying not to objectify as much as I'm trying to ask, would my character be attracted to her?
All right, give her a charisma check too.
Well, what sort of women are John attracted to? Are you?
All the powerful ones, apparently.
There's nothing about this woman that like draws you in as like, oh my god, she's the one. You don't feel magically enchanted or drawn to her. She's sort of quiet, a little bit mousy, a little bit nerdy looking.
Anyway, from the sofa to this room that she's going into, I will like revert to my usual body language. I'll sort of like open my chest out a little bit. I'll straighten the flower in my hair, make sure the ruffles on my shirt are looking good, and I'll just have like my normal demeanor.
Right.
As I you know, follow her into her study or whatever.
Yeah, she brings you to the easel where there is a sketch of a poor sketch of a mountain that looks very much like the one that you have painted or that you have handed to her.
This is very similar. Is this the same mountain?
You know, it comes to me in my dreams, and I feel. How did you know that this was? How did you know I saw this?
This is the island on Alba. Have you not? You saying you've not been there?
Never been to Alba Island.
Did you not know that this was the mountain you were drawing? You seem to be a learned scholar in the area.
Why, you know, I thought it was just a mountain that I saw in my sleep. I didn't realize it was a real place. Did you draw this?
No,
Where did you
No.
get this?
in Alba.
Huh. She hangs on. Can I have this? How much do you want for it?
I'll be honest with you, Mildred. I dreamt your name. I found this drawing, and that very night I dreamt of you. This is quite strange.
Well, isn't that
Captain,
just
it's
amazing?
creepy.
She sits down on the sofa with the
Do you have
painting in
something
hand.
to drink? I'm struggling with everything here.
She waves you off onto the kitchen side of the major parlor here.
I make her a cocktail, okay? I'm making a cocktail here. I don't know what it is, but I look at what she's got and I'm making something impressive.
All right.
Yeah.
You can find limes.
Okay.
You can find oranges.
Okay.
You can find rum,
Sugar?
whiskey, wine, sugar. There's no ice, of
Make it
course.
old-fashioned.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll make like if do they have any grapefruit juice? I could make a Paloma or an old fashioned.
There's no grapefruit juice, but you could make something with what you've got. Bring
Yeah, I make
her.
an old fashioned. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Missing bitters, but fuck it.
I hand it to her. Take a little sip.
I'm so sorry. I don't think I ever got your name. I'm Mildred. Mildred Price. I'm the head notary here in Port Prince. What was your name again, sir?
Waterford, Captain Waterford.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Captain Waterford.
I would say I'm in town on business, but the truth of the matter is that I made business arrangements purposely to come here in the hopes of finding you. I
Well-
couldn't get your name from my mind ever since I woke up with it. It's been gnawing away at me.
Ah,
I
isn't that just
somehow-
peculiar?
It's so strange. And you said you dreamt of this mountain?
Mm-hmm.
What a strange way for a star to bring us together.
Quite. But the gods work in mysterious ways. There's never a way to know how it is that they arrange things. But this this clearly is an important meeting.
Indeed.
Do you
Well,
need
I'm-
help with something? What? Am I here to
said-
help you? What can I do for you?
You said you're the notary.
Yes.
I
I
shrug and say,
work in the
don't
main
think so.
administration building. I oversee ledgers and books and charts, the comings and goings, the the quartering of soldiers, and a great many governmental aspects. What does your ship do, John? Are you supposed to help me?
I didn't say my name was John, by the way.
No, Waterford, right?
Waterford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waterford, but are you supposed to help me?
I'm not sure. I honestly, I know it was odd when I approached you, but I wasn't sure what to say. I wasn't really sure why we were meant to be meeting. This is the culmination of a series of strange occurrences for me. My whole experience on Alba was odd, and that dream, it stuck with me. I couldn't get your name from my mind, and I somehow knew it was linked to this. And to find that you yourself have been dreaming of the same image, it's confounding me, honestly. This picture, do you think it's worth gold?
Well, everything has a price. I'm sure you could get some half golds for it.
Well, I'm a wealthy man. I've made my fortunes sailing the seas, and making trades and acting as a merchant in good repute across many continents. So, if this is something you would like, I could at least leave it with you for a time, but only on the condition that you'd agree to meet with me again before I leave.
Of course. If the gods are bringing us together, it must be for a reason, and I would never defy them. Absolutely.
But I shall leave this with you. I know that it means a lot to you. Perhaps you can study on it. I'd say to you, do you have much contact with wizards? With the arcane?
You'll notice her attention is really fixed on this piece in front of her. And you ask this question, she pauses for a moment, like she didn't hear you, and then sort of snaps back and says, I'm sorry, did you say something?
I said, do you have much business with wizards? The magics of the arcane?
I work with the wizards and the clerics in Port Prince. Sometimes, at least once a week, we have a short conversation.
I wonder if there could be magic involved. It's such a strange occurrence. It's not something I dabble in myself, but I've seen it. I'm not from the Dardanelles. I've seen wizards conjure all sorts of tricks.
This can't be a trick. It feels true in my heart. It feels real. There's no way this could be magic.
Yes, you're right. Okay, well, like I said, I have business to attend to on the island over the next few days, but I shall visit with you again before I leave. Would you usually be here around this time after work?
Yeah, I always leave work at the same time. There's Don't work too late, they always say.
Wise words. Unfortunately, when you're on a ship, work never stops. Maybe you could have a word with your doorman, let them know that I might pop by in the next week or so.
Of course, whatever you want.
I will go to take her hand and kiss it.
She sort of like lets you hold her hand while she's like entranced by the picture before her, holding it in the other one. And when you're done, she just doesn't even make eye contact with you anymore, just sitting on the couch staring at this painting.
I go to walk out, and then I realize that she's not paying any attention to me. I kind of stop and just watch her for a minute. She's just completely and utterly focused on this.
Completely focused.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it with her for a day, and then I'm gonna come back and I need to talk to the other three because I've got no fucking idea what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna leave.
Well, speaking of the other three, the other three are brought to a tavern.
What are they called?
Getting there. Let me paint the picture of the tavern so I know what to call it. It's it's on the third story of what are, below it is a residential building, and then below that are some sort of minor shops. You have to go up through the staircase, beside some of the shops, into the internal structure, up again to the third floor, past all the residential buildings to this sort of, it's got a rooftop component and a smaller indoor component. It definitely looks like a converted apartment. That definitely looks like you probably shouldn't be having a bar in this building. It's probably against some sort of regulations somewhere. There's no sign on the door other than just apartment number 14. So there's no name, MrMouton. Got you there.
Oh, look to the guy. Just say, is this bar called Apartment 14?
Yeah.
I like it.
And he will.
Well, let's get a seat.
Yeah, he leads you in. There are, it's a makeshift bar of just some sort of planks across some barrels, a big shelf behind him, some doors that open onto a patio, and from there you can see there's a spiral staircase that leads to the rooftop above. Windows that overlook the city. You're high up and far away from everything else. The windows that would face the front are all boarded up and closed, like this place is supposed to be empty or abandoned. And you don't hear anything coming from any of the surrounding buildings, surrounding walls. No one, the other rooms must be unoccupied, or the insulation must be great. He'll pull up a seat with the three of you and plop down and say, "Well, gentlemen, perhaps there's... I'm always on the lookout for good business opportunities and good business connections. Pirates like you can come in handy for people like me often. And I'm sure there's something you might need from someone here. What can we do for one another?
What do you need done?
It's a little direct for me. Really, what I need done is trust. I need to know that you're good folk.
I know.
He looks to the other two. Are you good people? What about you, Archie? Are you a good person? You trustworthy?
I consider myself the most loyal and trustworthy.
Can you
Yeah.
explain to me the other patrons of the bar? I want to get a lookout.
Yeah.
Trying to decide if this is like a White Prince ploy, or what's going on here.
The bartender is a young woman who's got like, call it like a sports coat on with a bright bow tie and a button-up shirt, nice cuffs with like little cufflinks on it, short haircut. There's a group of 3 folks sitting kind of closer to the open doors that lead out to the veranda. One of them is looking in your direction. The other 2 are in close conversation. They're all hunched fairly far forward. There's a pile of like dirty glasses nearby. Looks like they've been here for a little while. Each of them has a dagger at their side. Their clothes are lower middle class. There are 3 people sitting at the bar who are wearing like middle class clothing. None of them seem to have any weapons on them. Their backs are to you and they don't seem to be paying you much mind. One of them is like trying to talk with the bartender, who is just nodding as she like cleans out a glass with a rag.
It doesn't look like anybody's paying too much attention. Yeah.
There's one guy across the room
guy.
who's watching you, and then the bouncer who's by the front door, who, when you guys knocked, he like slid up
watching
on a little
everything.
thing and then like slid it shut again. And he's got his back to the door, and he's kind of absent-mindedly perusing the inside.
Was anything
Yeah.
said to get in the door, or did he just look at the guy?
It was just visual. Yeah,
It was good.
yeah.
Okay.
The area is lit with candles. There's a little cluster of 3 candles in the center of your table and center of the other person's table. When you came to sit down here, the bartender brought over a candle from her area and like lit yours.
Interesting. I'll look to the friends. Well, I'd say we're pretty trustworthy, and I'll give each other a nod. Ask any questions you want. We're an open book.
Why are you in town?
Nilram will explain. We're looking for a lady named Mildred Price. I think our compatriot's already on them.
Is that it? You're just here looking for a woman?
One question at a time, my dear friend. You ask one, I ask one. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Seem fair?
Yeah, he leans back in his seat, pretty pleased. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you do in this town?
I'm a talent scout. I keep an eye out for what could be useful. What'd you bring on your ship? What's your cargo? Or were you passengers?
Well, we brought a hostage. I'd say with a laugh.
You brought a hostage here into town.
You already asked your one question.
Go for it.
I'll look to the others if they have any ideas.
Sale, Archie, any questions of this person?
Nope.
I'll lean to Nealrum, ask him who the first person he killed was.
I'll ask him that. Who's the first person you've killed?
You know, I've never killed a man before.
Really?
Hands are nice and clean.
Oh, so I suppose you'll want us to get ours dirty.
I'm a talent scout. It's not my job to be killing folks. Question for you then. Are you worried about getting your hands dirty?
Shake.
You wouldn't believe
I will
how dirty these
produce-
hands have gotten in the past, my friend.
I'll produce the mithril coin with my face on it. Obviously magical, and he'll flip it in his hand.
Well, 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 you're certainly not afraid of anyone, are you? That's what I was hoping for, between you over here with the magic and you here who resists wizard spells. Quite the little collection of folks. I think it's your turn.
How do you guys exist in Port Prince?
How does one put this? Whenever you make a building, you gotta join materials at some point, and there's always a crack. We live in the cracks. We exist where the sun don't shine and where things sort of slip away and fall away.
Understood.
I should make this one a good one. He pauses and thinks and sips his drink for a little while. How do I know you're not an agent of the White Prince?
Have you heard of Jamuba? I ask him.
He shakes his head.
What about... Fuck, is it Moncher that we did the...
Moncher is a place?
Krob Strait. Have you heard any news of Krob Strait or anything from Jamuba?
Oh yeah, bunch of piracy happened out there.
Give him a smile.
You claiming that
Terrible
for your
goblin
own?
problem. Shrug.
That's not really answering my question. You know, anyone could be taking credit for someone else's deeds.
I nod. What about the Inquisitor who died in her who was it? Tensor? He questions. He asks like a fake question. Did that get to here yet?
Tensor the Inquisitor? I don't know an Inquisitor by that name.
No, an Inquisitor died, and a Tensor's son was, I think, taken.
He shakes his head. I don't know anything about that.
The news not get out of an inquisitorial head being delivered here? I'm sure I sent it. Did we actually send that out of character? I think we did,
I think
right?
we ever sent a head.
I don't
did we?
think any heads have been sent anywhere.
I think that
Oh,
we
well,
just killed
then.
her.
But I know I took the head. Maybe we never sent it because it was meant to be
Yeah.
sent.
Yeah, I don't think the head has been sent yet.
Okay. Never mind then.
Well, if you can't provide proof that you don't work for the White Prince, as I said, I'm a talent scout. I like to find people that could be of use, and then
Nilrim will
test
pull up his
them.
arms and show that he has no tattoos. That should be proof enough.
Spellcaster, no tattoos.
I mean, I don't really know what else you're looking for. You don't know any
Archie's
of the things
confused
that we've
by
done.
what's going on and just
We
starts
mainly
showing off his
exist-
tattoos.
We mainly exist on the Outer Rim. This is our first time recently in the Midlands.
Huh. Okay. Well, how it normally works around these parts is if there's somebody who wants to join us living in the shadows or, you know, work with us, we need to make sure that they're not White Prince material. So I got an introductory job for you. Doesn't pay anything, but it does allow me to trust you. Because there's no way in hell what I'm about to ask you any agent of the White Prince would do.
Go ahead.
There's a prison here, and I want a set of keys to the prison, to the cells within. There are 3 sets of keys that I'm aware of. There's the keys actually in the prison that they hang, you know, near the cells that can be grabbed for emergency purposes. There's the keys that the head jailer wears, and there's the keys that the sheriff of the town has. Now, the head jailer's got him on him at all times. It's his job. He's the head jailer. He takes him home, takes him to work, always on his side. The sheriff has a set of keys, but I have no idea where they are. They could be in his house, in his office, could be on his person, could be buried under a tree for all I know. And then there's the set of keys that are actually in the jail for everyone else to be using. I want one of these sets of keys. I don't care which one, but I need the keys to the jail. No way in hell anyone within the White Prince's employ would do that. Couldn't hand them away. Could give me a fake key.
You need the
But I
keys to
might.
break someone out? Where are we going with this? Because I can open up any locks.
No. It's not about breaking someone out. It's about getting a set of the keys. It's about showing me that you're not afraid to stand up to the White Prince and put yourself in a little bit of danger. Show me that you're not afraid of the law, that you're willing to subvert the established order for your own benefit. Just a certain level of proof that the cards you're putting on the table are real and not enchanted.
I nod.
I tore off an Inquisitor's head with my bare hands. You want me to steal some keys?
I mean, talk is cheap, my friend. I could tell you that I fucked a dragon once, but, you know.
Fucked a dragon?
I like.
Gotta get that drussy, man.
Archie's very impressed.
I nod.
See, I'm looking for something solid, something real. That
To be honest, we could do this, and I could do this in, I don't know, a few hours.
great.
But I just don't know if it's worth my time. What do you guys have to offer? I'm sorry, but
No, that's a very reasonable question, and if I have nothing to offer you and you have nothing to offer me, there's no point in learning to trust each other. So what are you looking for? What is it that you... I mean, why is your owl screeching at midnight?
We need a fence.
What sort of things are you
And,
trying to move?
No one will just fucking go down the list. Stolen jewelry, magical items.
Yeah, you go down the list.
When
it's
we
like,
knocked
yeah,
off the
whoa.
Inquisitor, we stole her shield and her sword. So we need to get rid of those. And I'm sure that they would go way better in Arcadia than here.
Well, there are some things I can help you move. I can introduce you to the right people who can do that. Magical items are a little bit tough around these parts. Potions and scrolls, not a problem. Swords and shields and stuff, ooh, that stuff is carefully tracked. You know, if it belonged to any of the White Prince's men, someone's gonna have an eye out for it, and they'll pick it up one day eventually. Potions, though,
We have it in a lead-lined room.
smart. The other stuff, minor magical things that aren't worth tracking, consumables, can always help you get rid of them. Jewelry, not a problem. There's of
So pull
course
out
a
healing
fee
salve.
involved.
How much is this worth? In the right hands.
Guy motions for you to hand it to him.
I'll hand.
He will open it. Is this a full or a partially used healing salve?
I believe my one right now is partially used, yeah.
Do you know how much it's used?
It's gonna be used 3. So I should be 6 left.
Left. Excellent. Well, something like this, you easily get, well, it's not entirely full, but somewhere in the ballpark of 500 gold.
And on.
He
Okay.
slides it back to you.
So you want us to steal the guy's keys? That's it?
I need the keys to the jail. Yeah. And before you go, just giving me any old keys, I do want to warn you that I will have my ways of verifying the truth, the veracity of your attempts.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Great.
we're gonna be here for a few more weeks, and we'll probably do this at the end before we leave.
Excellent.
How do we contact you in the future? Because we might have to leave the island pretty soon after stealing these.
He shuffles around in a pocket and pulls out a tin coin. Completely worthless in ordinary trade. Has to have been custom minted. He says, you come here and Doorman opens the slot. You hand him the tin key. He'll know that it's a message for me, and you give him a location that you want to meet me and a time, and I'll just meet you there.
Will you meet on other islands?
No, just within the city, please.
Just within the city.
Yeah, I don't tend to leave the city very much. And really, I just
Does
want you to think of
your-
me as a conduit, a gateway to any emotions across the room, to the fine people that you can find living between the edifice of society and the edifice of
We
the
never
White
crack.
Prince.
I get it.
I'll be your guide to the underworld if you need.
Why not?
Great. Well, please stay and enjoy your drinks. They're a little bit pricey here, but hey, what do you expect? And I'm gonna go. If you need me, hand this key to the doorman, and he hands you the tin coin.
What was your name?
Polly.
Paul.
Paul, like a parrot?
I mean, people do tend to repeat the things that I say. Maybe.
Cool.
I never really learned my letters, so I don't know what the difference in the spellings of Polly's are. Shrugs.
Maybe I misheard you, Polly.
And I think with that, he will leave. And this evening, the party can gather and share. Why don't we do that on the other side of our break? We'll see you guys soon. A little bit more Tides of Death. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. So,
Hi.
hi.
All right. I had a strange day. What do you guys get up to? Any luck finding the tavern?
We met a guy that fucked a dragon.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
He
he
really?
fucked a dragon.
That's cringe.
Yeah.
Who would do that? I heard about an elf who had sex with Scoria back in Arcadia. I don't know if it's true or not. It's probably the bullshit thing.
That guy's probably drinking for free at every tavern for the rest of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what? You spoke to this guy. What did he have to say? Did he know
He
why?
wanted the jailer's keys or some proof that we've actually gone against the White Prince to get welcome into the underground world. I shrug. I don't know. I don't think stealing the keys are worth our time, to be honest.
Well, I appreciate that they're being careful about who they let this information out to, because loose tongues and all that. But
if he wants to see
surely.
something that the White Prince will never do, like a White Prince's men, I'll go out on the street and kill anybody. Just make it quick.
Nora, what do we talk about? Could we not maybe show him the shield?
I think back to the shield. Is the shield engraved with like White Prince's insignia?
It's anti-magic shield. Surely he'd.
Surely that's the only place you could get it.
Surely he can detect anti-magic auras?
Well, no, but you could cast some sort of spell and then move the shield in range, and we could show him that it cancels it in large.
Because he understands magic well enough to know how that works?
I mean, I feel like between the fact that it's clearly opulent and powerful and expensive, and the fact that it's canceling spells.
Okay.
Isn't the problem, though, that the shield is currently preventing scrying on the boy?
The shield's here with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, we brought the shield into the city. The boy,
did we?
we're scrying on the boy. He's just in like a very.
We
dark
needed the
place.
shield to stop you guys getting spied
right.
by the Inquisitor.
I forgot that. That's right. It's in a box. That's right.
Yeah, we've got it. So we could bring it, and as long as we don't walk past any clerics, we should be fine. But
Yes.
sounds like I had a more interesting time than you. So I was hanging out around the building on the off chance that this Mildred might show her face, and I saw an important-looking woman who was saluted by one of the guards. So I thought I'd follow her. Chanced my arm a little bit, just kind of shouted Mildred into the street, and she turned around. So I thought, all right, fine, fuck it. So I was like, hey, I'm a friend from Alba, and she was like, I've never been there. Then I showed her the picture sale, and it was like, well, it was like nothing I've ever seen. She immediately changed. She invited me upstairs into her apartment. No shit, this woman, she has paintings of mountains surrounding her apartment. She was even drawing one that looks just like the one that we had. And she was obsessed with it. She wouldn't stop staring at it. I was putting the moves on it, and she wasn't even paying me any attention. So there's Some weird shit going on right there. And let me tell you, you know, she could do a lot worse than Captain John Winters. You know, she was okay. She was no looker though. You know,
For sure,
Well-
but don't act like you're God's gift to him.
I'm not going to give. That's not what I'm saying, Sale. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that a woman like her, you know, she'd be lucky to have the attentions of a man like me.
Oh, are you better than her, Captain?
Yeah, well, it's just in terms of a purely aesthetic comparison.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
And so she was fascinated by this picture?
she was obsessed. She couldn't stop staring at it. I
Interesting.
left it with her for a day or two. I told her I'd be coming back to get it. Because to be honest, Sale, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. She was like, basically, I was thinking on my feet. You know, I told her that I dreamt of her name, the way that she
Oh.
dreamt of the picture, and then I kind of made it out like a stir. It brought us together, and there was a reason. Now I'm just not sure what the reason is, but I feel like we can use this woman somehow. But I'm just not sure how. But I've got a meeting. The doorman knows my name. I can get back in there whenever I want. Don't even have to sneak in, so I'll just walk right in.
Yeah. We should. I think you know, it's a little bit hazy, the memory of what happened, but I think the words, "She will help the bearer of this picture," kind of stand out. And then it was also, "She will forget her other bonds." So I think it might be the case of where her loyalty will be unquestioning to the person who holds the picture.
Well,
Don't we want to figure out what the fuck happened?
hey, you know, Sale, now you could have told me that beforehand.
You know what? I probably could have. The memory's been a bit shaky, though.
I seem to be remembering it just well now. Okay, well, I can go back there. So you say we take this thing back, and whenever we come back to this island, we can get her to do whatever we want.
I mean, she's a high-ranking notary. What
Absolutely.
sort of paperwork do we want forged? What sort of contacts do we want? If it gives us some measure of control or influence over her, this is like a pretty high up inside the White Prince's chain of command.
Nilrum's right, though. Why would they give us this? Is it payment?
Maybe she was sweet on me, Captain.
Nilrum, she drained the blood out of your balls. That's not what they should be doing.
It was fantastic.
I know you're inexperienced, yeah, but that's not usually how it goes. It's usually a different way around.
She's probably like spoiled Nilrum for life now. It's the only way.
Ah, well, yeah. I actually wouldn't put it past him. Maybe he's into that kind of thing. Maybe it was your fucking idea, Nilrum, hey.
Sorry, what was Nilrum's question? Oh, why would they give us this? I think,
Why, yeah, why would they give it to us?
I don't know, it's confusing. I think it has something to do with serving someone. Like, I remember the words, "We serve him too," and I don't know who he is.
Well, hazard a guess, Sale, because it's kind of pretty obvious to me, and probably talking
And
about
pretty obvious to, I think, everybody else at this table, even Archie.
Wait, serve who? Wait, what?
your patron, Sale.
You fucking dullard. Why couldn't you tell us that
Why-
earlier?
Why would the people
Yeah.
on this island serve?
What other possible explanation is there, Sale?
I don't know, a powerful creature of some kind that has its own.
Do
machinations?
we serve any powerful creatures other than the giant thing living under the sea that gives you its power?
You, Captain.
I'll lean back and think, huh, I never thought
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
true. Well, maybe they serve me, and maybe that's what they meant.
I don't think you're a creature yet, Captain. You'll get there one day, though.
Ask your mama how much of a creature I can be.
I've seen that stat roll, Captain. I know.
You've seen nothing. Don't metagame me, Sale. You know nothing.
Captain, one time we were shaving your legs.
Yeah, bullshit. No.
And Archie took a peek, and let me tell you, we
Archie
weren't
takes that
impressed.
secret to his grave.
True.
This is when Archie decided to dedicate his life to Rohi instead of John. It was after that moment. She can't respect a man like that.
Well, let's go see the lady then, John.
Together? Well, it does put our queries to the test. The doorman at the door might get a little bit antsy though if the four of us try and turn up. But I could go on my own and test it. I could say, "Oh, I've got some friends. Do you mind if they come up?" And if she says yes, all right. Well, we go tomorrow. I already spoke to her today. Let's.
We should go in the morning, maybe.
Well, she's at work
Well, then why
before
can't we go
work,
tonight?
because I told her I wouldn't be back till tomorrow.
The doorman doesn't know
Okay,
that.
she's probably going to be there if the way you describe it is true. Staring at the fucking painting.
Well, what? Okay. Let's say we go back. What do you want to talk to her about?
Well, what do we want from her? She'll leave
exactly,
early if she
maybe
doesn't
we-
join us. So
No,
let's
she's
see.
no use. She's no use to us if she leaves her position.
But she's used to us if she stays in it.
Yeah.
Well, what do we want?
Just ask her questions about the local area, the politics, the people, any valuable items of note, anything. An infinite canvas of possibilities from questioning her.
Yeah, we could try and have her steal something for us, but then if she gets found out, that's done. So
I
just
think
need-
she's more useful in an informational role. That's my personal take. I don't know if a notary is a master heist performer.
I agree. If this happened to her, can the same thing not happen to us? If someone brings us something? I pause it. You know what I'm saying?
It does seem
The only
very
reason
easy.
we remember anything about it is because of the two people who didn't come with us. Maybe the same thing happened to her.
That's true. And we at least seem to have slightly stronger constitutions than her.
True.
If the way Captain described her is true as a small mousy woman.
It's true.
Maybe she can get our longship registered?
Those freaks on Albert Island might have marked us with some weird magic as well that we don't know about until the time comes. We need to find out what happened there. Do you think she's been there? She said she's never been there, but perhaps she just doesn't recall.
That depends if there could be a blood drinker in the city performing as well.
Wouldn't surprise me. They get around, right? Stories of vampires all over the world. Big place like this.
Yeah. So
I'll be honest, Sayah, that's what I thought I was walking into, to be honest.
Let's go talk to her and then maybe we can. Okay,
Yeah,
it's still
that's our best
nighttime,
bet.
right?
Yeah.
What do you want to do first, Captain? Do you want to go talk to her first, or do you want to go show the people the shield?
Do the shield tonight. I think that makes more sense.
All right.
We'll go at night.
Pick up our box of anti-magic shield.
Well, what's his name? Paulie already left the bar, right? He said you guys could stay as long as you wanted, and that you can get him a message by leaving a coin with the guy. But that would then the guy would have to tell Paulie, and that's probably not going to happen tonight. So
That's fine, but we can come. I'm sure there's someone else in the establishment who Paulie's trust is with. I'm sure there's someone even greater than Paulie.
yeah. So you
there.
grab the
Yeah.
shield. How are you going to transport it through the town at night?
We have a metal box
in
or
a
a
box,
box
yeah.
that we carry.
Okay. So you just pack the shield up in the crate and just haul the crate through town in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you moving this crate? Lady Nightingale's. It's hers. It's in it. Noble lady stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's not walk past any obvious patrols of guards.
don't mind me, officer. Just smuggling some goods.
Smuggling items. Magical.
Stop,
Any
not everything in a box is suspicious.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Who's carrying the box?
Nilram
Archie.
and Archie.
Oh,
Or is
no,
it
it's
Nilram
Nilram
and
and
Sale?
Sale.
Nilram and Sale, yeah.
Great. The four of you walk through town, a box between two of you. It's pretty late at night. Most houses are quite dark. There's a few lanterns on still on the roads. At major intersections, there's some lanterns being hung. You'll notice the odd patrol of guards. A pair of them will follow behind you for like 3 or 4 blocks before continuing on a street while you turn off to a side. No one seems to bother you. You did get a few strange looks here and there. You make your way
Don't
back
care.
to the apartment. and go up the stairs, heading to the door. You give a knock, and the little eye slat slides open.
I show the iron coin.
The tin coin, yeah. He like reaches for you to hand it to him.
I'll hold it and say, "We brought our proof. We wanted to come in and show it. It's in here."
The eyes like glare, and the fingers come to the little eye slit as he like reaches for the coin.
I hand him the fucking coin.
Yeah, he'll take the coin, slide the door shut, the eye thingy shut for a moment, and then open it again a few seconds later. Where do you want to meet?
I'll give him our tavern. I'll ask Captain. Captain will make
Somewhat private. If we're going to show you what's in this box, going to make sure there's no prying eyes. Name's Winters, by the way. I'm the captain.
We kind of want to do it tonight. This box is kind of valuable to move around. Is there any way you could ask if there's anybody else who could see us?
Trying to let nothing through, the bouncer blinks a few times and then dumbly repeats the same question. Where do you want to meet?
This is the guy, Neil.
This is the bouncer.
Listen, mate, where do people usually meet? That's where we want to meet. This isn't my island.
Fucking give me a name of a place so I can pass it on.
God, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
Can't we just meet here?
Podunk operation.
I want to meet inside apartment
We want to
14.
meet. We want to meet here. We want to meet here.
Here inside. That's where we
Thank
want to
you.
meet. Now let us in.
Obviously.
We got him with his own logic, Neal.
Guy glares at the four of you and says, "Tomorrow night, same time," and
Is this?
shuts the thing.
Can I have my coin back? I ask when the slit's closed.
He does not respond.
Dickhead.
If I cantrip, can I make the same coin? Do I feel like I can?
On close inspection, it
didn't
would be obviously magical and fake. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. I guess we haul our box fucking back.
Mm-hmm. Back through the city streets at night. Another good roll.
Nice box there.
Yeah.
Hey there, citizen. What
You
got
know,
in that box?
an old drunkard on the street corner gives you like a cheers with his
Don't tempt me.
empty flagon. That's about it. You walk back through the city streets, passing more patrols of guards. You get the sense that, you know, that there are many nightly patrols. And now that you've seen a couple of them, they always move in. Well, from what you've seen, they move in groups of two wearing chainmail, shields, and spears. And they've got that thick, heavy armor. Or not that, that thick padded armor is what I mean on. It's a warm night out here in the Dardanelles. Make your way back to your tavern and settle down for the evening, unless there's something else
I'll
you
ask the
wanted to do.
captain. Do we want to go see the lady?
I really don't see the rush, Noran, but if you are so eager to get it done, then we can go tonight. If it works how Sale says, then there shouldn't be a problem. If it doesn't, then we might.
I'm just
blow
worried
some
that she's not
goodwill.
going to show up to work tomorrow because you left her with the thing. Like, genuinely.
Yep. I agree with Nilrum's.
And if people, and if
concern.
someone as high as bureaucratic as her doesn't show up to work, eyes are going to turn.
Okay,
So just go to
fair
no.
enough.
I'm sorry. You did a good job,
Um,
though, and I'll pat you on the back.
Thanks, I,
you
didn't
found
ask
her
for your
with a great
approval.
job.
Well,
Thank you,
I just think you should know that we think you did a very good job.
Thank you. I know I did a good job. I don't need your approval. I said that.
Well, I'm just saying,
Um,
I wish that maybe you would tell us that we did a good job.
Well, I mean, I just
We
spent the
didn't
last
kill
20
anybody.
minutes lugging this fucking shield across the street.
Yeah.
By all
well,
accounts, you didn't really do a good job, did you? I didn't want to say anything, but that's kind of the situation we're in now. So why don't we go and mess up my thing as well, and then
well,
we
now
can all
you've
be in the
upset
same.
Archie.
I'm sensing a really negative vibe in the crew right now.
All right, let's just take a breath.
Let's just go.
As the resident cleric, I would like us all to take a breath and like consider working together better.
Good point, Sal. You're right.
got
We
a
walk
point.
to the house.
Sure. You make your way back. The doorman is still there, sort of sleepily eyed. He sees you and gives you a
there, I got
wave.
it. Way outside, way outside. I'll come and get you. I give him a wave. Hey there. Would you go and see Mildred?
Please. He opens the door for you.
Should get some coffee there, mate. I head up.
You can make your way back up to Mildred's room on the 3rd floor.
I look to Sale. He fucking left us.
This is just winter's all over every time. Just leaves us.
I knock on the door.
No answer.
I knock again.
You hear come in.
I open the door.
There's Mildred in the exact same spot, holding the picture, looking at it. She
Hey,
kind of
Mildred.
turns back to look at you. Oh, it's what was your name?
Waterford.
Waterford,
Hey, I've
right?
got some friends that would like to meet you. Is it alright if I bring them up?
Of course, please. Any friends
You
of
wait
yours are friends of mine.
Of course they are. I leave the door on the latch and I head downstairs. I just poke my head past the bouncer and I give the 3 of them the wave.
He didn't leave us.
Soon, the whole party is up the stairs on the 3rd floor. And
I give the
Mildred's...
bouncer a wink. He knows what's going on.
I was just about to say, this looks very suspicious.
Yep.
A gang of burly dudes appearing in an apartment at night.
Yep.
So the woman, yeah, well, he's got to make some extra cash somehow. Sorry, that was maybe below the belt. Just-
Dale, you'll see that this apartment is maybe a little bit larger than your brother's. This has the main like living room, kitchen combo area, and then it's got like 2 doors off of it into other areas. But is otherwise, you know, about the same. The furnishings are a little bit old, maybe a little bit nicer than your brother's. You get the distinct impression that the bureaucrats and people who serve the White Prince aren't necessarily paid super well, or at least they spend their money on things that aren't home furnishings.
Yeah, they have like status, but maybe not income.
Something like that, perhaps.
I close the door behind the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And we're all stood in the room, like, looking at her.
There's
say to
Mildred is. Brown hair, mousy appearance, still in her work clothes, but her shoes are off. Do you take your shoes off when you come in the house, everyone?
Yeah, I tell him,
Yes.
guys, shoes off, please.
Okay.
Norm has slippers. He walks.
I
No.
think this...
Shoes off, please.
Does she look at me?
She is
Did he give a fuck?
transfixed at the painting. Hasn't
I'll
even
take the
looked over her
shoes off.
shoulder.
Have a bit of respect. Come on, it won't kill you, will it?
You're right.
It's like, I think this...
But it might kill you
calls
one
for
day.
some-
He laughs.
I guess you were right. She's not moved.
Let's
I
try
like
an
the
experiment.
sound of that.
I'll walk over
right.
and I'll sit beside her and be like, hey, Mildred, can I see that for a second? And I'll like gently take it off her.
She looks at you and, oh, you must be one of Captain Waterford's friends. Her fingers hold the painting tight. It's, what are your names? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mildred. Mildred Price. I'm
I'll,
one of
like,
the
Look
administrators.
over my shoulder. I'll look over my shoulder at the captain and be like, which name are we giving her? The real one or the fake one?
I said, I'm Waterford and these are my crew. This is Barchi. And I motion to Sale.
I'll introduce myself as
Darryl.
an old friend of Augustus.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. Have you seen this magnificent painting Captain Waterford brought me?
Yeah,
Doesn't it
beautiful.
just-
I'll put my hand on the painting and hold it with her, and then ask her to give it to me.
She reluctantly hands it over to you, and then kind of looks towards Captain Waterford. Is it okay if he borrows it? I know it's
You
yours.
can borrow it for now. Yeah, let him take a look. I'll keep an eye on him. I go over to Nilrim and I whisper to him, you detect if that's magical?
Day?
The painting.
Did I like? Is your question? Did I ever?
Oh, they say, can you now?
Oh, can I now? The answer is no. Tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
I have a detect magic, so I will do it if I hear
Yeah.
this conversation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The painting is non-magical.
Interesting.
Mildred,
So, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
could you get me a glass of water? Or a cup of water?
Sure, of
You've moved
course.
not to Mildred.
She gets up and walks over to the kitchen. She pulls out a glass and opens a barrel and dips the glass into the barrel and brings it back to you.
I'll say, Mildred, could you raise your right arm?
That seems a bit strange, but okay. And she raises her right arm.
And then I'll give the paper. I'll hand the paper out so Captain Winters can take it.
Thank you.
And then I'll ask her, Mildred, could you raise your left arm?
I don't really understand what's going on. And she sort of drops her right arm. Is there a problem with
It
my
would be
painting?
good if you could raise your left arm, though, Mildred, just so we can make sure it's okay. I say, holding the painting.
If you insist. And she like holds out both of her arms before you. It's all
Here you
very
go.
strange.
Thank you, Mildred. I'm a physician. I was just making sure that you had arm function. You've been sitting here for hours.
It doesn't feel like
Gotta
it.
keep your arms healthy.
Listen, Mildred, I say as I roll the painting up and put it in my jacket pocket. Like
You
I
notice
said,
her
we've gotta
eyes
be,
are kind of fixed on where you're putting it. And
we've
then
got
when
to be
it's-
leaving the island soon. And, you know, we talked about how Astera brought us together. I think we can help each other sometime in the future. But right now, I think it's important for us that you do well at work and keep doing your job and keep rising through the ranks. And we'll be back soon, so you can gaze it upon it again.
We should all seek to do the Lord's work and make the world a better place.
Of course, of course.
Astera is a great deity. Perhaps the
Indeed.
greatest of them all.
Well, I
We're your
think
friends. Right, Mildred?
Well, any friend of Captain Waterford's is a friend of mine, I suppose.
exactly.
Are you friends? She says, looking between
We're,
Waterford.
we're friends. Yeah. He's
Best of friends.
Best friend.
these are my best friends.
And your name was Merlin, was it?
I'd nod.
Mildred, you kind of look a bit tired. Maybe you should get some sleep. Have you eaten anything?
Not since I got home a few minutes ago.
Why don't you go and make us all something to eat, and then you can you should get some sleep after that.
I have a
Okay.
quick question before you, as you're cooking, Mildred.
I sit back.
How would
Feet
you get a letter to someone anonymously in this city?
Hand it to any of the couriers in town and tell them to whom to deliver.
How much do they cost? A few gold?
A silver for most.
Okay.
A gold if you need to speak to a noble.
Understood. And if I need to speak to a noble lady, for example?
Just make sure you go to the right courier, the fancier couriers with that are appropriately dressed to speak with nobles.
Understood.
You wouldn't want to offend anyone by being out of uniform. She
Surely
says as she
not.
like pulls out some like mixed nuts and starts putting them in a pan and goes over and mutters to herself, "Oh, the fire's gone out," and like begins to build a fire in the oven or in the stove. It'll take her a while to get the fire going and to make you all some food, maybe an hour, but she will diligently make food for 5 for an hour.
We're chilling. We'll have a drink a bit of the alcohol that she gave me before as well.
Mm-hmm.
I might just like, after half an hour of her cooking, I might just start wandering around her house and like looking through her things.
It's not
She's got
much.
like a work desk.
No, it doesn't.
There's no like, she's not brought anything back from her office like an official stamp
No,
or a
nothing
wax seal
from-
or something like that.
Nothing from the office. One room is a bedroom. The other looks like it's probably meant to be a bedroom, but it has been converted into like an art studio where she hangs all of these paintings that she's got. Some of them clearly are all done by the same hand, probably hers, and then others have been bought. And they're all these like impressive pictures of mountains sort of hung all over the art studio.
Would like official documents from the White Prince's government come with like a wax seal? Like,
They
yeah,
would be
all, like,
sealed
official-
by the person who sealed it. It wouldn't be like a universal seal that everyone gets, but it would be like, this is Mildred's seal, this is John's seal, this is Katie's seal.
So that strikes me as something that we could ask for that might help us. Then we could send letters pretending to be her.
Yeah, that would be good.
There would only be one, so if hers went
Yeah.
missing,
It
It would
raise
be-
suspicion.
yeah.
We can't see it and then make another?
They're pieces of metal, so they need like a metal crafting, and they will be like fairly intricate and specific. So if you wanted to make a duplicate, you'd have to have the original on you, go to a fine craftsman who could do such a thing, and then they would have to duplicate it, which might take multiple rounds to get it to carve with the wax just right.
If I could get the seal, I should be able to. Well, there's a question. Can I cantrip it perfectly if I have time to study it? And then could they just do it off site?
Probably not. You would want to be
Probably
able
not.
to
Okay.
test the two side by side to make sure that they're making the right impression. Yeah.
Okay.
And they need to know
Well,
the right depths and everything. And
my thing is we just leave this for now. And
Yeah, I think this is good.
we just come back to it in the future.
She's a friend in the city. Very good. Let's do you guys want to do a small little time skip? Well, we need to do the shield tomorrow, and then we can probably time skip to when we get our papers.
Yeah, and then we leave. Yeah, I think
and
so.
we leave.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
we leave, we go home, we do the shield thing.
The next night we go to meet them.
Sure. The only other thing I'll give you is that after 15, 20, 30 minutes or so, Mildred sort of perks up a little bit and chats with you. She is a little less focused on one thing and only one thing, and you can sort of watch over the course of the evening as the effects fade and she returns to her supposedly normal personality.
Does she retain the sort of obedience to us?
How much do you want to push it?
No, not that much.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Just ask
her
her little
friends in her
things.
house, so you
She
ask
still
the friends.
uses as friends, okay.
Yeah, you definitely get the friendly. You are guests in my house, and I'm trying to provide for guests in my house because I'm a good host.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, once we finished eating and stuff, I will, well, Mildred, thank you for the hospitality, and thank you for being so gracious towards my friends here. Like I said, we'll be leaving the island soon, but we will be back, and we can share it with you again when we return. Just make sure that you're still in good standing at work.
I always try to do
Keep
my
serving
best.
the White Prince. Fantastic. Well, again, it's been lovely meeting you, and the fates bringing us together this way has just been the highlight of this whole trip for me. It's been fantastic. And I will take a hand again and kiss her hand or whatever, and then
And the party
go to
leaves.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep in the next day, kill some time, head back to apartment 14 the next night, where you can knock on the door, and the ice thing will slide open and slide shut, and the door will open, and there will be Polly on the other side of the door, just fresh up from a table, coming over to greet you all. Hi. I don't know this person. Who is this person? He says, looking
Hello
directly.
there, Polly. My name is Captain John Winters, Captain of the Forbidden Fruit.
I thought, and he points to
I give him a nod.
Merlin. I thought this man was in charge.
He's in... No.
I give him a
Well,
Right,
please, have a seat. I suppose we'll have to repeat much of what was said last time for you.
Well,
I filled him in on all the details.
Yes, my crew have filled me in.
And we brought
We
not
brought proof.
what you expected, but proof.
Yeah,
He looks at
listen,
the
we've
crate
got
you brought with you.
better things to be doing than go pickpocketing guards for keys that we don't need. I'm afraid. But I'm sure you've heard the stories that we told last time. Well, now we come bearing proof of our deeds.
First
I'll
off,
open the crate.
as you're opening the crate, first off, I don't really care if you've got better things to be doing. If you do, you should go do them, right? I'm here hoping that there's some sort of business arrangements that can be made, but if not, no one needs to waste our time with this stuff. Second, that
Absolutely.
attitude
No.
that you've got there, it's not a very trustworthy attitude. It's not a very friendly, let's work together attitude. It's very much a, I don't need your shit attitude, which doesn't really bode well. You know?
Well,
How
I
can you trust a
appreciate
man
that,
who
but
doesn't like
listen.
you?
I'm not going to be sent around on errands just to prove who I am. Our deeds are vast, and our influence in the Outer Rim is unmatched. So,
How come I
we'll
haven't
bring
heard of
proof
you
what
then?
we've done. And if we can work together, we can work together. Otherwise, I can leave you to your city, and I'll continue to, scare all of the fucking sailors in the whole Outer Rim.
Who the hell are you?
I just
Polly, why
told
don't you
you.
just
my name's-
come have a...
Yeah, how come I've
Captain
never
John
heard of
Winters.
you then? Who the
I don't
fuck is
know.
John Winters?
Why haven't you heard of me?
Did we tell him?
Says
where
more
the-
about you than me.
Hmm.
Archie, open the crate.
Nilrum's already
Oh,
opened it.
Yeah.
The guy comes over and he looks at it. Okay. It's a shield with the holy symbol of a stair painted on it.
This, my friend, is a shield of anti-magic belonging to the Inquisitor at Krob Strait, who we have killed, severed his head from his neck, and brought this here to you to show you.
Very impressive. How does it work?
It's anti-magic. No magic can function in the realms of it.
Interesting that you'd bring to me the one thing that I can't prove. Very curious. You know,
We
I've
can
got
prove it,
a
actually.
table of anti-magic. See that table?
That's
No
not
magic
true,
can
actually,
function.
Because Neal, if you could cast a spell, please, and we can prove that this table of his is not producing an anti-magic field.
Nilram
Okay.
will walk away. He will enlarge himself 60%. And he will walk into the shield range.
All of the eyes in the bar turn to you as you grow. The bouncer opens his eyes and they kind of go slack-jawed. The bartender reaches for something under the table but doesn't quite produce it. The other rogues in the tavern sort of back off from you as you are huge.
And he walks into the range. of the
And
shield.
you will shrink back down again.
I give
I
him
look
a
at them expectantly.
So, you made yourself big and then you made yourself small.
Polly, are you trying to piss me off? Norm looks at him in the fucking eyes.
I'm gonna ask Neram. Neram, let's just take a walk.
Hang on a minute. Listen, Polly.
Yeah,
Perhaps we got off on the wrong foot here.
I think so. This feels a
Are you
lot more
suggesting-
tense.
Are we suggesting here that you're accusing me of being a liar? That this is not proof of who we are? The fact that I'm traveling with a wizard isn't proof enough? The fact that I'm traveling with a
Look,
cleric
buddy,
isn't
friend,
proof enough?
friend.
Nilram will pull
All
out a
you
dagger.
do,
He
He's
will
not your
cut his
friend.
arm.
He's not your buddy. Slow your roll.
Nilram
Downright.
slices his arm. He pulls out the healing salve. He will use one salve when he's within the shield's range. Does it work?
oh. Okay, so first off, when Nilram pulls out a dagger, the bartender pulls out a crossbow and levels it your direction, and the bartender pulls out his cudgel. Then when you
Yeah, that's
cut
fine.
yourself, they sort of relax a little bit, but keep their weapons on hand. Polly is looking at this pretty surprised. Uh-huh.
You know what this is? You've seen
He
these?
pulls out his healing salve.
Yeah.
He opens it. He uses it and he slathers his arm. Does it work when he's in
Yeah.
range of the?
Of course not. No, definitely not.
Okay. He walks out of range of the shield. He will use another charge and slather it on his arm.
Look, boys, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but you
And
gotta
he will show him the
understand,
arm.
from my perspective, you're magic users. I don't know how the fuck this shit works. How do I know you're not just casting spells to make it look like you're doing shit? Could be illusions. I can't trust that shit. I can't trust illusions. That's why I gave you a job that was provable to me that you wouldn't be working for the White Prince on some level. All this right here, this could all be smoke and mirrors. How the hell do I know how you enlarge and shrink, huh? How the hell do I know
You
that
have
that's not
no-
some sort of...
You have no magic. You have no magic salves.
I have seen them, I have traded with them before, but I don't have any on hand, all right? I don't...
Here, to prove trust, do you want to do the same thing? And I'll hand him the magic salve.
You're giving me your word that you're not tricking me with magic right now. That's the problem, is that all
Okay.
of this relies on you being honest, and I
Polly,
can't tell
please.
if you're being honest until I can trust you. So I need you to do something for me that is unequivocally, no magic involved, honestly trying to... Do you see what I'm saying?
I understand where you're getting at, but I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding here that we're not here looking for a job. We want to work with you. Maybe we can work together. I'm
That
not
sounds
asking you to
great.
do anything for me to prove who you are. Maybe there's something we can do together, but I'm not going to be sent ferrying around doing tasks for you when I don't know who you are. I've got just as much reason to distrust you as you two to distrust me. I'd say the fact that we're here talking to each other, the fact that I'm sitting here with a wizard and a cleric should be enough for you. Now, if that's not enough for you, that's fine. We can go our separate ways. But I'm not going to go and be your errand boy.
All right then, he says, and he puts out a hand. It was nice getting to know you. I'll see you some other time.
All right. I shake his hand. Get the box.
Take his hand.
All right. He'll reach out to shake each and everyone's hand and make eye contact and explicitly say thank you to each of you. Thank you for your time.
I refuse to shake his hand. He's pissed me off.
He's pissed us all off.
Hey, you want to take that hand? We're all on
Yes,
good terms here,
Neal, shake his hand.
right?
I'm not on good terms with you, okay? You think I'm a stooge for the White Prince, okay? All I stand for is against him. So, we're not on good terms. Me and you. Now, my crew, we're on good terms with you. But me and you, we're not on good terms.
Oh, I know you're
Sure.
not gonna rat this place out.
Because if I wanted to, I could kill everybody in this fucking bar. Now we're gonna be leaving.
The bouncer opens the door for you. Holly gives a big sigh and waves goodbye.
Wave goodbye. Alright, we'll leave.
Yeah.
There's only so much we can put up with, guys. I think we handled that well. And I think we head
God, I
back
wish
to our bar.
Neil had Cloud Kill right now. Just
Yeah, it would have been good to kill them guys, actually. But no, we made a point. We're not going to just randomly murder people here. So I think we go back to our bar and then do what Lucas suggested, which is maybe just time skip to when we're leaving, hand off the package with the book and the letter to be
Great.
delivered in a week's time, and then we leave.
Can be done across the board. The only thing that remains to be done before you leave is a quick conversation with Lady Nightingale. She will find you one of these days. You're not too difficult to find since she knows where your ship is and can talk to your crew and get the place where you've been staying. So one of these nights, when you come back from whatever it is that you spend your days in town doing, you will find one of Lady Nightingale's handmaids standing near the bar, very awkwardly, very uncomfortably. And then when she sees the four of you, hurries over and asks you to meet Lady Nightingale at her house.
Is this one of the handmaids that worked at the old house?
Yes, you've seen this handmaid. You gave her a trip on the boat.
Yeah, okay.
Can't remember her name for the
Great.
life of you, but you know her.
Yes, we'll be leaving in a couple of days. Happy to meet with the lady beforehand and our lovely husband.
The handmaid will lead you to the house, but you already know where it is, so it doesn't matter. And there, Lady Nightingale will ask you again about this job that she had for you. And ask if this is something that you want to do. It would finish off any and all debts to her ship. It was to kill the Inquisitor in Port Ferris and to sink Lady Chroma's ships, but none of the others. She looks at you after proposing this again, and it's just the five of you in a soft room.
Excuse to make the point again, but do you have the amount that we still owe you? Obviously, depending on how much we have left to pay back will influence how much this risk is worth taking.
She does. $8,000 gold.
Okay. Can I confer with the crew?
Of course.
I
I
will
just want
just
to know if
take
there are other.
a step back. What do you guys think about this?
Can we just pay her the gold?
We could just pay her the gold, but 8,000 gold. That's quite a reward. We want to kill this Inquisitor anyway, don't we?
Tell her we'll kill the Inquisitor, but we don't want to sink the ships. That's too much.
You think?
Yeah, it's hard to sink a ship.
I draw too much attention to us. Okay.
Could try
I
punching.
go
Takes a
back.
lot of time to sink a ship.
I go back. Nightingale, listen. We've got no love for the Inquisitors. Happy to kill that fucker. Burning the ships down, however, brings a little bit too much attention, specifically to Port Ferris. Now, I understand you might be disappointed with this, but killing an Inquisitor, that's a job you need a special kind of person to do. That's something we can do. Burning down ships, get any old people to do that. Once the Inquisitor's gone, once the defenses are lax, we can kill any guards that interfere at the time as well. Things should be lax on Port Ferris. I can drop a word to someone else that you know there, have them do that. Maybe you can get that done your own way, but we're not going to be doing that, but we will kill the Inquisitor for you. How's that sound?
See, I really need the ships gone so that Lady Chroma must rely on all of my vessels for her cargo moving. Need to reposition myself appropriately there. Her ire against me has been inconvenient.
Understand
The
that. What
Inquisitor
if,
is a key part of that plan, but we only need to get rid of the Inquisitor so that the ships can be gotten rid of without too many questions.
We just killed
If,
the Inquisitor and the lady.
If Chroma's ships were to fall afoul of piracy out in the open seas, now that's something that I'd be happy to get
that's
behind.
I don't mind where they're destroyed. I just need them
But,
to not return
burning
to
them
her
in the
possession.
docks? Well, fine, but I don't know the details of where they're going to be traveling. If this is something you could tell me, a perfect place to intercept said ships away from Port Ferris, then I'd be happy to do it. But as it is right now, burning them in the docks, that's too much heat.
Lady Chroma has 4 ships, 1 clipper and 3 cargo ships. The clipper ship is her own personal escort that she will take wherever she needs to go, and the rest of the time sits in harbor waiting for her to travel on it. That one might be difficult to do out away, but I suppose she does send it on quick errands or maybe moving personnel. The other cargo ships run routine routes all the way around the outer rim. They come by, every so often, load up or unload cargo, load up on cargo, and keep going. Always in the same direction, always with the flow. So
They go together or one each at a time?
One each at a time. They're roughly evenly spaced out. So every 4 months or so, one comes by, unless they need to stay in the dock for repairs. And every few years, they repair all the ships. If you would rather pay the gold, that is fine. I understand that at this point in time, maybe your time is more valuable than your pockets.
Well, what if we kill the Inquisitor and pay 3,000?
Inquisitor and 4.
What if we kill the Inquisitor? And why don't you want the lady dead?
See, if Lady Chroma dies out there, I'm already a suspicious person by her accounts, and she has made these suspicions quite public to the other nobles. If she dies, someone else from her family will take over for her, and that doesn't actually improve my situation, right? Someone else inherits the nobility of the island. I want her to be in a position where she has to rely on me. Her death doesn't change that. If anything, it'll cause cause her other extended family members only to be more suspicious and frustrated. I want her weakened, not removed.
We'll meet you halfway. 3.5. We'll kill the Inquisitor, and
We'll sink a ship anytime we see.
If we see one of our ships, we'll sink it.
That'll do. She reaches out a hand across the table.
Okay. I shake her hand. I don't have the coin on me right now. It's on the ship.
Bring it when you have it, then. I think I have proven to be trustworthy to you, and you've proven to be trustworthy to me. This
Indeed.
arrangement has worked out extraordinarily well.
Okay. I'm going to just take 35,000 silver off my sheet, Neal. And
Sure.
we'll assume that I've organized getting it to her.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
can be
right?
done. Yeah, we can hand wave that. It's not a problem to move that stuff off the ship.
Okay.
I tell Lady Chroma. I think if we want to involve her in the plan, probably not. Actually, no.
Okay.
Before,
She also
since we're
looks-
hand waving a little bit of.
Yeah, the only other thing I would want to say on this topic is that she does look to the other 3 of you and say, "It's a pleasure to see the 3 of you again. It's been so long. Next time we visit, please make sure to bring the whole crew along."
Of course.
Captain John keeps me locked up.
You understand sneaking around Port Ferris at night. It's easier on my own.
Of course. And I would understand why someone would want to keep a valuable treasure such as you locked up tight.
You give her a wink.
She returns your
that's
wink.
true. I do want to keep him locked up, but that's not for the reasons that you think.
I will go out, find a courier, a regular one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get that courier, give him a gold. I'm going to tell him to take this to that courier over there, and I want him to give it to the noble courier or whatever, and have the noble courier go over.
Exactly. The old
Nilrum's gonna be wearing his
VPN
hood.
courier technique.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nilrum's going to be wearing his hood, so hopefully the courier, it's a little obscured. He's going to pay him extra, and then he's giving him 2 gold, 1 for himself, 1 for the other courier, to bring it to the lady. And then
Gotcha.
the note is pretty much exactly how it's written. It's a note and a book all together.
Excellent. Excellent. So on September 30th at Sulphur Island.
Yeah.
Can I see Sulphur Island real quick? It's up
Yes.
there. I want him to meet us on the docks. So
Yeah, the main
I
docks.
put in the note in the main docks.
Got it.
So we'll have to get there early and secure it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sweet. And then we head out. We gather our crew back, Neal. Did everyone?
Yeah. No, you gather
everyone's
the
okay?
crew.
No one's got into trouble.
No one's gotten into too much trouble here. A couple of people spent a night in the drunk tank, but they were released the next
That's fair
morning.
enough. Yeah.
You get your paperwork approved and applied, given to you. You'll have to like sign some paperwork, and they'll take your signature and verify this, that, and the other thing. They'll tell you that they've sent out copies of this paperwork to all the other islands.
Wow.
The Midlands will be the first ones to receive it, which is why it's so expensive. But Lady Nightingale's covering your expenses on this. And then also to the inner islands and the outer islands, you get the warning that like if you're headed somewhere remote very, very quickly, you might beat the paperwork there and you might be held up for a little while. So
Inside the note, I'm going to cantrip like magical dust. Kind of like sparkles. I just want them to know that it is actually from a wizard.
But the range of cantrip is only 10 feet, so it's not.
Okay,
You'd have
well,
to
then
be
it
like
doesn't work.
nearby.
I do it.
Yeah.
I think it'll work. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well then,
Yep.
party back on the ship, headed back out to the open waters. Where is our destination?
Well, I don't know what you did with the dates, but it sounds like we have to go pretty swiftly to Sulphur.
What if you go swiftly to Sulphur Island?
Y'all have
Yeah.
a fast ship, so you can get there well ahead of them. But if you want to beeline it, that makes sense.
My suggestion would be we go back to base and get the small rowing
Yes.
ship because it's faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's unrecognizable to them. If they've been seeing our ship in the dock, they might
Very smart.
work out who we are.
Excellent.
So we'll go back
I
to
thought
base.
of that
pick up
like
the
2
small
hours
ship.
ago, and this was my moment.
We go back to base. We put this one in the base. We get the small ship.
And then we come back out.
Excellent. Well then, I guess next time when we see everyone, we will be meeting on Sulphur Island while you clear out the docks from whatever minor undead are around and ransom this young boy. Did you say how much the ransom was? You said it was the spell book, right?
He
I
wants
told
the
him to
book.
bring the book, and he knows what the book is.
Got it. Okay.
Also, I was thinking, somebody mentioned this in Reddit as a bit of a long-term goal. We might be able to turn Sulphur into a bit of a pirate island. And there was, remember the island where we killed where Nilrum killed the bard? We kind of killed that leader, so there's kind of a bunch of pirates there, leaderless. Maybe we could move people into Sulphur.
Oh wait, we probably have to figure out if we're actually bringing Bale with us. By the way,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Well, he's allowed to go, right? Then, I mean, yeah. If he wants to.
If he wants to.
we need to talk about it as a crew. Like, do we want to bring him? What's the goal with bringing him? Because I kind of made the suggestion to him without fully consulting the crew.
We want to take him to Sulphur Island, right? So if he wants to come,
Show him the crimes, yeah.
Yeah.
the issue will be showing him our base, which we maybe can blindfold him for. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, if he wants to come, he can come. We'll work something out. At the end of the day, if it all goes to shit, we can just kill him.
He does want to come. You will meet up with him the next day, or whenever it was that he said he would meet up with you. and he tells you that he has cleared it with Lady Goldmane, that he will take a 1-month leave of absence starting in a few weeks after he finishes up his existing duties to travel with his brother before he makes his final oaths. So,
So wait, do we have to pick him back up, or was that a few weeks?
no,
while we
he'll
were
leave
there?
with you at the same time,
Yeah.
and you just have to bring
Sweet.
him back in 1 month.
Amazing.
Well, he's
I'm
gonna
sure
be
that'll
late.
happen.
Yeah.
He's going to be late.
Yes. All of this
Okay,
will play
well,
out next time.
We should
though.
role play that next time. It'll be fun on the
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah. That will be it for us for this week. We will be back next week.
I think so.
Maybe. Mooten, aren't you traveling?
The 19th, I won't be here, but I could do the 17th. But
Wait,
that's
what's
Sunday.
up?
That's next Sunday, or this Sunday, I guess.
I can't.
Easter
Sunday
family dinner. No
That's right, Easter Sunday. I'm at my
Well,
mum's.
I could do the 15th, the 16th, any day, but that week. We can figure it out.
We'll figure it out in between sessions. We'll be back eventually. See you guys
Bye-bye.
later.